Welcome to Hey That's Me, a commentary podcast. I'm Patrick Hotner.
I'm Brian Lynch. This is a very special episode.
We're excited for this one. This is Wet Hot American Summer.
Have you seen this movie before, Patrick?
I have seen this movie before. I saw this movie in college for the first time. I think we talk about it during the episode, but that feels like the right time to see this movie for the first time.
Oh, sure. I saw it when I was already old and had given up.
On this show, we record audio commentaries with people from movies or TV shows who never got to record commentaries for them. And this movie has a commentary on it with, I think it's Wayne, Marino, and Janine, I want to say.
Yes, and there also is a separate fart track where it's just the two gentlemen making fart sounds. Yes. The entire movie.
Yes. Both of which highly recommended. They're both very good. And this one has a different energy than that. I don't think there's one fart sound in this one.
No. Just the sound of two old farts talking to two talented ladies.
Is that you and me?
Yeah, we're the farts.
Our guest today, Marguerite Moreau, plays Katie. Madeline Blue plays Cure Girl, one of the kids at the camp who hangs out with David Hyde Pierce.
Yeah.
It's a really fun combination of people. Having the both of them together, I wanted to get different takes on what happened during production. And I think having one of the quote-unquote adults and one of the quote-unquote kids who were there at the same time, you get a different feel for what it was like for everyone while they were filming.
And let me just say, Patrick, be careful what you wish for, because you got it.
I got it?
You got exactly what you were looking for.
That's great. That's kind of the whole goal of this podcast.
That's right.
It's just wish fulfillment for me.
Yeah, I would say we've recorded two podcasts the day we did Wet Hot, and they were both they were on your bucket list podcasts, right?
Two of Patrick's favorite things were that same day. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in the outro at the end of this episode, so stick around and you can hear some little teases about what's coming up. This is a really fun one, and I want to get right to it. But, check out all of our past episodes if this is your first episode you're listening to. We've got a lot of really cool ones that are already in the bank that are coming up soon. And also check out our Patreon. We've got a great Patreon, patreon.com/commentary. We've got it so you can watch synced up versions of the commentary with the movie. You can record a commentary on your favorite movie with me and with Brian if he has time. And we'll release it on the Patreon for everyone. You can watch a movie along with me before we record. You get advanced knowledge on who is coming on the show, and you can submit questions for us to ask. There's a whole lot of cool stuff that you can do on there.
I'll also say this. We recorded someone today. They signed 2 Blu-rays for me. One, they spelled my name wrong. So we'll be giving that one away on the Patreon. I'll keep the one where it's spelled right. But yeah, so even if it's not your name, and it probably isn't, you'll have a pretty cool collectible. Yeah, it's good. You'll love it. Broke my heart.
So we hope you enjoy this one. It's available a lot of places you can watch it, but it's also on physical media, of course, so you can pick up that Blu-ray anywhere that you buy movies or television or media of any kind. And we're going to get started in
3, 2, 1, go!
Hello, everyone. We're here. Wet Hot American Summertime. I'm Patrick Hotner.
I'm Brian Lynch.
Oh, I'm Madeline Blue.
I'm Marguerite Moreau.
Look at this. This is fun.
And we're here to talk about the funniest movie ever.
So have you guys ever talked about this movie before?
Nope.
No, never? Oh my gosh.
Very excited.
Let's start at the beginning for both of you.
Is there going to be volume?
There's going to be no volume.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
what?
There will be subtitles. But it would bleed over into the mics.
Yep, that
so we
makes
will
a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I should have worn my glasses, though.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We'll remind you what's happening.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I can share glasses.
Hey, there I am.
Try it.
Look at that.
From the
That's how it
podcast,
works.
Hey There I Am.
Which is the new podcast where I'm the host.
We have a competing. We're bringing on our competition.
We're just branching off. This is just a
Do those help at
reporting
all
from
now?
the field.
So Marguerite, how did this happen for you? How did you
Hey,
get
that's
content?
me.
Oh, we're going to do it every
She
time?
gets
Okay.
the game.
I just want to get it right once.
Yeah.
But then I talked over you. Eventually I'll get it. I'm a really, really good on the third take. How it happened for me is I was going to see Bradley in New York do his one-man show. He was graduating from the new school, and he said, "Hey, I tried out for this. I got this movie. You should try out." They can't find one of the actors, and so I was like, "But I'm leaving tomorrow. I got to get the sides," and they sent them to me, and they were so funny, and it was the barbecue girl scene. So the next day, I went to Michael Showalter's house. and auditioned with his cat. Me and the cat and Susie Ferris and Michael were there, and they said, you know what, why don't you read these sides, which was of Katie. And then I said, well, what's the story on Katie? And he said he was playing Coop, and I said, well, Michael, get over here, let's just read it together and see if we can do something. And so then, I've mentioned before, but they had me do a callback and later in the afternoon to do the bit at the end. And it was a totally different vibe in a studio, and there was a man in a suit, and he was so serious, and I was like, oh, I don't think that thing's happening. And then later I found out that was because Howard Bernstein was on his way to a funeral and then had to drop in to quickly check and see who's this new Katie. And then I was put on a bus and met everybody in the Poconos.
Wow.
That's wild. And it was literally like days before filming.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't meet David, the director, at all until I got there.
Wow.
Has that ever happened for another thing? For another thing where you were that level of important to the
Yeah.
to the movie,
Yeah.
or project?
Oh my God, I have brain fog and perimenopause. I don't know. I'll think about it for an hour.
Okay, great.
Halfway through, I'll
You'll
come back to
remember.
that.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
take the question. That has never happened to her before.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Right.
Thank you so much,
Sure.
Frank.
Marguerite,
Anytime.
You have the advantage of having thought about this for an hour before coming, like an actual professional. So I just empty my brain because it's what I expect of
Yeah.
myself. Really, very little prep.
Can I just say
Yeah.
that Coop looked really cute in that scene before? I really
Yeah.
love him with his poofy hair. That was my
But
third
look at
take.
you, though.
Okay.
You also look very cute in
That's
this movie. That
Marguerite,
outfit's great.
But fun fact, this girl who plays the bitchy blonde.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I grew up with her, and she was in A Christmas Carol with me for years and years. And then I come to set, and I see she's playing the hot, popular girl, and I'm playing this huge freak nerd. And I was like, oh, this makes so much sense.
That's amazing.
But there was a little feud with us in the local theater company because she wanted the part that I always got. That was like a thing.
But did she get the Star Ledger?
No.
What's it called?
Look at you know.
I know my
Someone
stuff.
did their
What was it? It
research.
was best
Best of New
upcoming,
Jersey.
best of New Jersey.
I really
Wait.
peaked. I really peaked at 11. It was pretty great.
We had a Star Ledger reference in the podcast. I'm from New Jersey. I read a Star Ledger and the Asbury Park Press.
Yeah.
This is crazy. You're messing with me.
No,
Never mind.
this is real.
Sure.
I love this part. I'm going to go back to the movie. I'm so
Good.
sorry. Back to New Jersey in a minute.
Sorry,
But when he
assholes.
jumps on Coop and
Yes.
doesn't make it, but then he does, and there's just so much trust, and he only holds him with one hand too. Like
Yeah.
he's not going to commit to two hands.
I mean, that was something I wanted to talk about. Like, you being one of the kids
Yeah.
in this. How much were you around the cast? Did they keep you
I
guys?
was not. I
No.
didn't meet you, Marguerite. Did I meet you?
No, because we also had different storylines, right?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
were rocking with the indoor kids.
Yeah, I was
Those were
rocking
different shoot days.
Totally different shoot days.
I might have gone back to New York for that.
So was this a huge
Exactly.
mistake putting them together today?
No, we're
No,
gonna.
because now we're getting two sides of the story.
Right,
Exactly.
that's
This
what
is
I
great.
figured I could cover the
Exactly.
gap.
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
you call yourself. Oh, there. Hey, that's me.
She did it right on the third
Oh,
time.
the iconic tonguing of
Yeah.
Paul Rudd scene.
Now, what was
very
the
exciting.
discussion before the tonguing?
There was no
It
discussion.
was just we're just going for it.
Yep.
Okay.
I believe that is just the magic
It was magical.
of Marguerite Moreau and Paul Rudd together.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did ask for rehearsal, and he was fine with that
Okay.
because I didn't really understand. It was so scripted; it wasn't improv at all. But I was like, I need to. I came in so quickly. I was like, "Can we rehearse a lot?" And he was like, "Absolutely."
Had you come from like a comedy background at all? Had you done a lot of
I-
comedy before this?
I had done like what multicam,
Sure.
and then I'd done some more. I mean, I've done movies, but they were more like comedy based in reality. So no, or yes and no.
Yeah, yeah. But these guys are all very
They were
improv-y, very
not like that, no.
silly, very
The
yeah.
improv team at my school and at my high school and in college were very intimidating because of how funny they were. But I should have gotten up there.
Yeah. You still can. Go back to the high school. Say, I want in now.
Oh,
No.
that's a good movie in itself. You go back
Right?
to your high school
Right? Maybe
improv.
they said you already had your chance. You don't need to get up there. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But then I went
And they
to
have to because they're yes and they have to take you.
See?
Can I just get that in writing,
We're
please?
writing the movie
Gail
right
Grauer.
Okay,
Jeez.
back to the movie. This adorable scene
Oh yeah.
between Coop and Marguerite.
Had you met anyone from the cast before this?
No, only
Except
Bradley.
for Bradley. Yeah.
Bradley
how
and I
how
did a
that happen?
pilot before this with Josh Schwartz, who created the OC right after our pilot. That
Oh,
did
wow.
not go.
But you were also on the OC eventually.
Yes, yes. But yeah, and we just had a fantastic shoot, and so that we stayed in touch. It was luck. Although my agent at the time swears that he also had the appointment, and it wasn't just from Bradley; that he was sending it to me, which was very.
He
funny.
still took the percentage.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Madeline, how did this happen for you?
So very not the same way that it happened for Marguerite.
Great.
I had a real audition. I had a real manager at the time, probably one of the few times in my life. And I had a New York audition, and Showalter and Wayne were both there, and they were really friendly to kids and just found kids hilarious. They thought we were hilarious, like way funnier than we ever actually were. And I remember going in, and I played both parts, and they just thought it was the funniest thing they'd ever seen. It was so nice.
Who was the other-
Mallrat
Oh,
Girl
okay.
and Cure Girl. And I did one after the other, and I had chosen really different, absurd
Yeah.
takes on both of them. But I do think Cure Girl, I did them backwards. Because I didn't know what Cure Girl was. I didn't know what the Cure was.
Sure.
I didn't know what Mallrat Girl meant. And I heard rat. So I made my ratty girl like very like,
Right.
you know.
That's
And
very
then Cure Girl I
funny.
thought was a prissy chick. So I
Yeah.
just say like, boop, 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 kind of read.
Yeah.
And they loved it, but they loved me for the awkward one, you know. So that, well, they were both awkward in the end. But yeah, flipped the script on me.
Do you wish you played Mallrat Girl, or are you happy with
No,
Cure
because
Girl?
it was the what do you do at the barbecue with the vegan thing.
Yes, which we're gonna get to.
Which I did wrong already, so I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
get the
yeah,
part.
yeah.
But
We'll let you make
yeah,
up for it later.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
make
yeah.
up for it when it's relevant. Well, it's
Yeah.
not in this. It's in
I
the
know,
deleted
but
scenes. Are we
we've
gonna
got this.
do-
It's in the script book though.
Oh, good. Well, then we can improvise.
I heard there's a story also in the script book where you said you read the script and you were nervous that your mom wasn't gonna like it.
Well, my mom was surprisingly liberal in a terrible way. She would read these things and just be like, "Yeah, do it." I mean, it didn't matter what the content was.
Yeah.
And they did, you know, this was pre-Me Too. There was
Sure.
a lot of content out there. And she would just say, "Honey, if you want to do it, do it." You know?
I see how you're going to raise your children.
Not in the cards so
That
far.
sort of feels like that was the parents' thing during that movie though, because there's also something in there about the boy who makes out with. It's not Molly. It's
Pause
Yes.
for incredible performance.
Yes.
By lead and supporting actor in this scene.
Oh my
Holy
God,
shit!
agreed.
My mind was blown.
80
Totally.
Miles
Chris
so funny in
Maloney.
this. Chris Maloney's so funny in it.
80 miles.
Miles, I didn't realize was a prop guy on The State.
Oh,
Really?
Yes.
That I was
Wow.
reading this book last night, and I learned it last night.
Oh.
In the book?
Yeah, there's
yeah, we had.
Wait
right
for
here,
it.
page 9.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's Alexa, the girl I had a rivalry with in high school.
in the pink on
that
the.
is being hit on by Kate Boy, who I had a crush on, and I was not his type.
Wait, you had a
I
crush?
had a crush on Kate Boy, and he wanted the hot girls, and he would talk about the hot girls, and I was like, but I'm so deep and interesting. Love me.
This is the
Didn't
drama.
work
Taylor
out.
Swift has a song about that, you know.
I love
Yeah.
Taylor Swift
Yeah,
for that.
you know
She
that.
really gets
Yeah.
my experience
Yeah.
as a young person.
You belong to me, just
But-
in case anyone was wondering.
Thank you for that. Now I will look it up.
What was it about Kate Boy?
Do you have to ask?
Yeah, look at him. He's so funny and charming.
He is very funny. Do you know what? Is he impersonating someone? Is he doing like his accent is so
Probably.
specific in this that I'm like, I want to know who he is doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
We'll
but
get
it-
him here next week, and we can ask him all about it.
Yeah, he's in New York. He's in New York.
Well,
Go get
we're
him.
going. We're traveling
Yeah,
just to get
travel for
Cape
that.
Boy.
Oh my God, do I love this man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also have a crush on Kevin Marino?
Yeah, but like as an adult, I have a crush on
Okay,
him.
gotcha,
Because
gotcha.
I have slightly better taste. Here we
Hey, Kate Boy is lovely. Did
No,
you
no,
see
I-
those lashes?
Yeah.
go. I know.
I
it
feel
did
very
not mean- oh, God.
protective of that young boy.
That's-
Do you guys keep in touch with Cape Boy?
No.
No.
Well, because I didn't really get to
Oh, I
meet
know.
him.
Yeah.
Opening water, excuse me.
Oh, do it.
That's okay.
Now would be a good time for the audience listening to open their water.
Yeah, have it feel like the experience is happening too. Oh, so he's going to look for the indoor.
Oh, that's me.
There she is.
That's me.
What was David A. Pierce like to work with?
The kindest,
Yeah.
sweetest. Very, a lot of the funniest people we know.
Oh.
That's me. The funniest people we know, I think, are often like kind of dark people too. Who was that true of? Was that true of? words. For you, is there anyone on set who's like such a doll and so just like they're so funny, but wow, do they like they're dark? They're kind of.
I mean,
dark
they all
people.
were.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
so dark.
Yeah.
We would meet up in the infirmary at night because it was the one place we were all staying because it had individual rooms. And they would just do bits for each other while drinking whiskey to stay warm. And I was shocked. And like tried to really stay out of the way because it was pretty fierce, the competition. And then in the morning, whoever had gone to Walmart and got the National Enquirer, we would just have their faces in it while getting their hair and makeup done in the makeup bunk because they would then do bits on it. And I was just looking back and forth, just being like, oh,
These
whoa.
minds.
And it was like kind of mean comedy too.
Yes.
Oh,
And I
yeah,
was
for sure.
definitely like, hold for the other incredible duo
Oh my
performance that
God.
should get an Oscar.
Oscar winning.
Can I say that often this is my favorite performance from Bradley Cooper?
Yeah.
You can.
I mean, he's
It's
great
brilliant.
in it.
Yeah.
He graduated like days before this
Right.
came out.
Skipped
and
his
then,
graduation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wild. He's also so funny, and I was rewatching some of the Netflix stuff, and he's so funny in that first season of the Netflix
Oh my
things.
gosh, right?
It's great. And I don't think he was there for that long, it seems like, but
No.
what they got out of him is like
Yeah.
very,
Yeah.
very impressive because they use it for so much of that season.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you guys hang out? What were the hangout spots?
The infirmary.
The infirmary was like the one spot, not the cafeteria area.
No,
Okay.
no, that was a real place where we ate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no other spot. We practiced this. We did lots of rehearsal for this scene.
Good for you.
I didn't really get that. He did. I was so earnest. But it's dropping and pouring rain in this scene, and everyone's under a sheet, but us. I mean, us, but not the camera. Sorry.
This shoot seemed like it was a nightmare. Like it was fun because the people that were there, but like every external thing seemed like the worst month of anyone's life if it was any other movie. you
Yeah,
know?
I just can't believe some of the stuff that we shot anyway, even though the weather was terrible. We just shot, and I just kept walking around being like, I guess we're doing it. And then you'd strip down your 3 layers of sweats
Yeah.
that were keeping you warm to your costume, run out and frolic, and then I mean, these 2 girls in the tight shirts, I just always remember them being frozen.
Oh my God, so cold.
Yeah.
You can see breath coming out of people's mouths, like Chris Maloney in
Yeah.
that scene. It adds humor to the scene, but when he's breathing on his chef there.
Yeah. Here we get a little Jake Fogelnest getting into the car.
Nice old Volvo.
Huh?
We had one of those.
Look at him.
Oh my God.
Jake wrote on the Netflix show. He
Yes,
came
he did.
back and wrote on the show.
Absolutely did. I think we also hung out like kind of anywhere someone was standing. There was like smoking, drinking, chilling, and then you'd run off and do your scene. It was very fun. Not while you were working, of course.
I was looking at the camp's website last night just to like see what it looked like now and like how much has changed and whatever.
Check your options for the summer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'll say this. It's expensive.
Oh, it is.
It's
It is.
I'm
expensive.
sure.
I think it was 15,000 for the summer.
This
Wow.
was
Which
a
is
classic
a lot of
Catskills Jewish camp.
Was it?
I mean, that's and this was very accurately depicted.
Oh my
I
God.
Do
would
they
say.
advertise that the movie
I
was
could
shot
not
here?
find anything, but David Hyde Pierce's house is the like
Right,
house
right,
in the movie
right.
is the like camp director like office.
Interesting.
Now at least.
Oh my God,
The
Molly
the obvious
Shannon.
question: did either of you go to camp when you were younger at all?
Only in the movies, baby.
Okay.
Well, so I say it's a classic Jewish Catskills camp for a reason. I did spend, I think, one summer at the elite French Woods camp, which was one of the
Okay.
2 places you could go if you were an actor. You could go to Stage Door, you could go to French Woods
Sure.
camp. And I went to French Woods camp, I think I was 8 or 9, and I was certain I was going to have this awesome time. And my sister was older, and she was very nervous. My sister had a great time. I tried to escape camp twice. I had a creepy bunkmate. I felt like there were
How
inappropriate
did you
things she was
escape?
trying to do to me. I was like really scared of these people.
Yeah.
I like snuck out in the middle of the night and tried to run through the woods. I was writing these desperate letters home to my parents, like, please get me out of here. I was not ready to have that much socialization. I don't think I was ready for that much socialization for the next 20 years. It's a lot.
Have either of you gone back to the camp since then?
No.
Because they shot the Netflix show here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't. But we're currently looking into camps for my son because he's 9 and his little best friend is going to go. And it's weird. My husband went and hated it because he got bullied by the counselors.
No.
And then his buddy's dad, it was like all his formative experiences.
Sure.
So, and I'm like, well, I did it in a movie. Let's try it.
Is there any part of you that wants to send him to this camp?
Oh, God, of course.
That would be such an amazing story.
But maybe they'll give me a discount because right
for
now
sure,
I
for
cannot afford camp.
yeah.
I'm like, I thought that was going to save me some money.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're so expensive.
I was shocked. Right now I'm looking at junior lifeguards for $900.
Okay.
That seems much more my
That's
speed.
much more affordable.
Is your kid more of an indoor kid or an outdoor kid?
Outdoor kid.
Okay,
Yeah.
then never mind. I have a lot of indoor kid recommendations, but
Well, but he's an indoor kid if it's video games.
well, there's those two. Yeah.
Yeah.
My kid likes to do art. That's art camps.
There
I'm
is
all about
a
that.
Kumail used to have a podcast called The Indoor Kids.
Okay.
Kumail and Emily Gordon, and
That's
I
right.
assume it is named after this movie.
Oh,
Okay.
That sounds about
interesting.
right.
It
Cute.
feels like it, right?
We're
Yeah.
so honored. Marguerite, you're doing some serious work over there, and I appreciate you a lot. You're
You
like
know,
looking
I
through the
brought
script book.
the annotated screenplay hardcover
Yes.
because, you don't get enough chances to kind of open it up and look through it. Oh, the miraculous Elizabeth Banks.
Oh my!
I would just stare at her on set and be like, why is she not so famous? And
You gave it a few years,
there
and
you
then
go.
it happened.
it totally happened. I'm glad America gets some things right. Also, we would follow around me. I got my girlfriend who was moving out from New York, and we were going to, live together on the West Coast. And we stopped here on the way because I got her a job in the wardrobe department. And then Kabir and I would just follow Amy around, being like, "You're the funniest woman in America. You need to be on SNL." So basically, I am God, and
You should be a manager.
I
That's
know,
amazing.
right?
Wow. What are your thoughts on Michael Ian Black?
why is he not famous?
I know.
Like, we adore
Poor
him.
choices. I directed the first movie he ever was in.
No.
Yeah, in
Oh,
'97.
So you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
him. Yeah. he's-
And
Yeah.
he's my favorite example of a sweetheart who just has a dark
Oh,
mind.
Oh,
th-
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
is the perfect.
Well,
yes.
the first time I
Someone
met him, I
love
thought
him.
he didn't like me, and then he just told me, "No, I just don't. That's how I come off. I don't."
Yeah.
He just
Yeah.
is exploring the depths of the universe at all times.
He's
And I'm a
Thank
little
goodness.
like,
insanely sweet, though.
Yeah.
so sweet. Yeah, that was what.
Do you
came to
think that
mind.
Paul had to audition for this by doing this scene?
I mean, this feels like the perfect audition scene. Like, because really, like, once you click into this scene for him, I feel like you click into that character.
Yeah.
You know?
I've never asked him that, but maybe.
Yeah.
Because he's not part of the state.
I
Do we
thought he
also
read
think
that he
he
didn't
had
have
to
to. I don't
audition?
think he had to audition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because they were just friends already.
Yeah.
well,
I
They
make
had
him
seen his
audition
work.
for my movies.
That's true.
I've never cast him either.
me too.
Because I know they, like, sold it with Janine. Like,
Yeah.
Janine was the way that they
Yeah.
got the funding and everything.
I was
she was-
so- Yeah, go ahead. No, you.
I was just going to, she was not pleased with me that I wanted to rehearse.
Really?
She was like, who is this dumb fuck? And I was like, my name's Marguerite. Can you rehearse the moose scene? She was like, okay. She was like very happily sitting on the back porch of some place where she was staying because she definitely had like a different setup. With Bradley, and they were both like in rocking chairs, and he was carrying around a Elia Kazan book, like a director. And I was like, why is he reading that? He's an actor.
Wow.
And Janine was very tolerant, but definitely was like, I don't know. And then I grew up, and she was definitely like, see, you made it through the other side, honey, right? I was like, I did. She's like, save all your money, right? I was like, yeah.
Oh my God.
I wish she had told me that on the other side.
Yeah.
The other side.
Oh my God, can we take a pause for that kid's face, which is like so moony?
The kids in this scene are so
They're
funny.
so good. He is
He
so
is so good.
talented.
Yeah.
I was always a
He has
big
literally
fan.
hundreds of color markers. I think this movie is really fun to watch because you want to play all the parts if you're an actor, I
Yes.
guess. Maybe not if you're, or maybe so if you are not.
Who do you think would be the most fun other part to play? This is a question for both of you.
Oh.
Well, this is
They're
a good
all
time.
insane,
No, this is a
Well-
good time to thank Marguerite.
This is true. Let's talk about it.
At the Wet Hot, was it the 25th?
It was the Zoom.
We did a
reading, right?
Zoom for an anniversary.
Right.
And we were on the Zoom and you were filming something and you had
Yes.
to go.
Yes.
And you threw me a bone. You were like, Madeline Blue should read for
Oh,
me when I'm gone.
How was it?
And you made me so famous for an hour.
Yay!
Like, thanks to you, I'm now famous for 1 hour
Yeah.
on that Zoom. And people were so like tickled that the freakiest character got to play like the hot girl. It was great.
Most popular counselor. please.
Yeah.
Most
Sorry.
popular counselor.
Right, excuse me.
Well, that's great. I'm so glad you had a great time. Is that why you're here today? Am I leaving early?
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you so much for stopping by.
It's so great to be here. I have work.
Oh, that's how it felt.
I still don't know who Ruth Buzzy is. I feel like
Really?
an asshole. I
No.
know.
Did
Look
you
at
watch
the
Saved by the Bell?
Yes.
Screech's mom. Does that help?
Yes.
The Elvis obsessed mom. That's Ruth Buzzy, but she was also
She was
on
on
Laugh-In.
Laugh-In.
But I
Okay.
thought maybe she would know Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was on
And I was
Laugh-In in
right.
the
So
70s.
there.
Yeah. That was totally.
She loves you. We had her on a commentary talking nothing about you.
It was the entire movie. That was all she
Wow.
brought.
I'll invite her over for dinner.
Madeline, how long were you on set? Like, how long were you?
I am not sure I remember.
Yeah.
It might have been, I feel like I stayed for a week.
Yeah.
I don't think I shot every day. I think it was 3-4 days.
Okay.
But I could be making that up.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was a long
Katie,
time.
you're hot, right? Is a very funny way to start a conversation.
Yeah. Perhaps why I framed the character that way.
Yeah.
Moments ago. Yeah.
This movie also looks very good.
Yeah.
Like, it's shot so well,
It
and
was
like
shot really
you can't
well.
really tell that it's raining most of the time.
No.
Like, there's a few scenes where you're like, oh, clearly back there it's pouring, but they did a good job framing everything, and
Yeah.
Madeline, where'd they put the kids? Where were they sleeping?
We slept in a bunk. I feel like a bunch of us were in the same bunk.
Where
I
were the
don't remember
parents?
if it was co-ed. I think my mom was there too.
wow.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
that's a loving mother. It was freezing.
It was cold. It was cold.
Yeah.
But we had those, those quick little moments where we pretended we were all best friends and it was, summer camp and,
Kate Boy was not in your bunk, though.
I don't think so. But
Hope
like
not.
strangely, I feel like Mork guy was there a lot.
Figures.
And I don't
Figures.
Yeah, no, and he was a sweetie, and I just don't. I was like, did we co-ed bunk? Maybe it was like across the hall.
That's so interesting.
But he was a friend of mine. Yeah, so we, it's very
What's he up to now? Do we know?
Oh gosh, and see now the names too. It's Mork and the
Yeah.
what's the other
Cape
one?
Boy.
No, there's a third one. Mork,
I mean, let's-
Kate. See, we've got to read the script.
We're gonna-
Marguerite,
yeah,
go
we're
back
gonna-
to the
Sorry. I
script.
just was watching the movie. I'm behind. All right.
Marguerite, you're supposed to be keeping up with the script. That's why we brought you here.
Script soup. Script
I'm
coordinator.
gonna pull up
Very
all the names.
talented.
It's a lot of boys and girls. Let's
It's a
see.
lot
Here
of
we go.
boys. And now I don't even know if I'm saying the
We've
right
got Caped
one.
Boy, Gabriel Millman.
Okay, Gabriel.
We've got
Dollface.
Kevin Thomas Conroy is Mork Guy.
Mork guy I was very friendly with Mork guy.
Topher Kuzumano is Medieval Kid.
Oh,
Kid.
Medieval
so
Kid,
Topher,
that's right.
I know what Topher's up to. Topher's up to all sorts of things. He produced a very popular reality series about two famous porn stars or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's doing some reality stuff.
All right.
Good for Topher.
Hot House? Could it be Hot House?
Hot
Yeah, I
House
would
Corn.
imagine
He's a
has to
writer
be.
on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he keeps busy. Keeps himself busy.
Who else we got? We got
the creator's
Cassidy Ladin,
market.
Mallrat Girl.
Cassidy and I got to be besties for a day or two.
I don't know who this is. Madeline Blue, Cure Girl.
Yeah, no idea. No, she never made anything of herself. So that one's easy to forget.
I also just love like Gail's Boy Camper, Raft Camper 1, Raft Camper 2. I had read that the what do you call it? You're in the middle of the water. The thing they were just on,
Yeah, yeah,
right
yeah.
there. It wasn't
pier?
the pier. Thank you so much. Or whatever, not a pier though, but yeah,
dock?
the
Boat?
dock. Thank you. It was not. They didn't like tie it down really well, so it was just circling. It was spinning in circles a lot. And the thing that the
I like that you just told Marguerite. You told her a
I
fact.
didn't
I read
get
the
much
script last
dock
night.
time.
No.
No, I was very busy, like on dry land.
you're on the
Yes, you were
dock in the
busy.
Or
behind the
wetland.
scenes thing. The behind the scenes.
Yeah, well,
making
what
of
about
thing,
that then?
You're
Yeah.
sitting on the dock there.
The one sunny day where we all did for fun for ourselves. Yeah.
Why did they not shoot that day?
That feels like, oh, it's sunny today. We should
was
be
our
shooting
day off.
right now.
We
Boy.
didn't want to get in trouble with the unions.
I guess that's fair.
We were following all the rules.
They went into town that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did they tell you about Katie as a character? Did they give you any backstory to her or anything to help you?
How about this? Did you have to invent a backstory to ground it?
I'm sure I did. In fact, I think there's some of my notes. because I
Yes,
was
let's look at your
very into that.
notes.
I think he
There's a few
published some of
pages.
my notes when I.
But that's
from
your
my script.
private. Those are your private thoughts.
I know. I
It's your
was,
own journal.
Exactly.
Your very own Gurnal, yeah.
You know, I think they just said, you know, she's sort of like the woman from Animal House.
Oh, Karen
Yeah.
Allen.
Karen Allen.
Yeah.
And try to find her, you know, push her one way super bitchy, but then they pulled it back and kind of kept her more bitchy.
Uh-huh.
And I also feel when I saw that, I was like, Paul, I thought I was the only one, and you're kissing her like that too. So there wasn't a lot that needed to be done. It
Right.
all
Yeah.
just happened.
Gotcha.
We call that method.
Is there any drama on set? Do you remember any
Yeah.
What was the
Oh my
drama?
God.
Give
It
us
was
the
like,
drama.
I had a crush on Coop, but he was dating the stills photographer.
Oh.
And then there were some other hookups, and then it was like, well, good thing I didn't do that. Like I knew I would fall in love if
Sure.
I hooked up with certain people. And they would be like, get off of me. And I'd be like, I can't. I'm now in love with you. I think that they never did this gag long enough. Like it happens here where she gets her hair moosed, but then I think she goes to the library, and I wish that her hair was still moosed in that.
It's so funny with
It's just
the
a pet
moose.
peeve of mine. I really need to get off my chest for about 25 years.
Maybe the special edition they'll digitally.
Yeah,
move
yeah.
her hair.
Digitally. give her
Thank
hair.
you. There we go.
Now, Janine may have had advice for you, Marguerite, but I do remember, God bless her, this was a scene we filmed where she did not know her lines. And it was so cute because she's funny no matter what she says, but there were a lot, and man, am I jealous of that. Like,
Yeah.
you just, I don't have to know my lines. I'll
Just
say
figure it
a
out.
Figure it
gazillion
out.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they just passed you in the back and you're freezing.
I
back
don't
there.
remember being freezing, and I'm so freezing nowadays. I'm
children.
surprised.
Yes, running hot.
But I do remember my own internal drama, like, oh, I like Kate Boy and he likes hot girls.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that was happening for
Yeah.
me a lot.
So Kate Boy was your Coop,
Kate Boy was my coop. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
but Kate Boy also seeing the Stills lady.
So she was having a great month.
Yeah, Amy Rice, gorgeous. She directed the documentary.
Okay.
But her
Oh,
husband,
yes.
Max, who she's still with, we met up there, and Paul was too cute to hook up with because then I would fall in love, and then he would be like, get off me, as we formally discussed.
The original pass of the script, Paul Rudd shot the kid twice in the head.
Yes. that
Come
is
on.
I
true.
was shocked to hear that.
Yeah.
Wow.
This
Well,
is
you know-
much better.
Yeah.
much funnier to just throw
Yeah.
him out of a car. Much funnier.
Yeah, her hair's already a little less moosed. Like it's coming
It's
down.
falling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Through all that
Well,
trouble
I
to
had
move.
limited resources at camp.
Right. Sure. Nina's also really funny in this.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
And
Just
doesn't get the credit I think
I
that she
agree.
deserves.
Absolute
Yeah.
gem, and I savor every scene she's in.
Yeah.
I
And she had to say the P word.
She did.
Such a good job.
She did.
yeah. Anyway,
The background. It's also fun just watching in the background, like whatever is happening in the background.
I
is
don't think
always,
I've ever seen that.
I don't think I have either until literally right now.
Yeah.
Isn't
And
it
I watched
fun
this
to
movie.
discover-
I watched
yeah.
this movie last night, and I didn't see it last night.
Is that your first time seeing it?
No,
Oh.
no.
How many times have we all seen it, would you say?
That's a great question.
You can't.
No, I have
can't.
to.
I
I'm
mean,
doing it.
I mean,
I'm going there.
40,000.
40,000. How about you? How many times?
God, no, I don't know. I don't know because I was so young.
Yeah.
Less
And-
than
and the
40,000?
cooler
So you
ca-
probably watched it more because you were like,
I think I watched
if I'm
it.
projecting.
No,
from
no.
my-
It's a good guess, but I know I was too uncool to watch this movie a lot. So I did it, and I was like, I don't know, is this funny? Like I was an actual
Sure.
indoor kid, so I didn't know. And then all the cool
Ah.
kids would watch it, and they'd be like, oh wow, you're in this movie. I want to be your friend, and I'd be like, oh, you do? You know, it did. I was late to this game. And I said some very embarrassing things. I'm still embarrassed to this day. When they were doing the behind the scenes documentary work you were just mentioning,
Yeah.
I said some very embarrassing things. I was like, I don't know if I find this movie funny.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Like,
so
I
cute.
So I was a little kid.
Yeah.
was just a little kid, a little pipsqueak.
I think I was just desperately trying to be myself, but also like felt that myself was not enough around these people.
Right.
I was just constantly in a war in my brain.
I mean, it's
Just-
an intimidating group.
It is.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is this really the town outside of where the camp is?
It
or?
felt very close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt very close
Yeah.
for sure. I had not done any cocaine at this point.
At this
So
point.
this scene, I mean, I just tried it out in
Yeah.
college but I'm a hyper person. I did not need it. I was like, I'm good on this one.
Is it
So-
in the book? It says that this was the kid's teacher on set.
That's
Do you deal with
I
her?
am
Oh
not
my
sure.
God, we'd have to go back because
Yeah.
I did have a teacher on set, but
Yeah.
I didn't see. just
Shout
now
out to
at
my
one time.
girlfriend coming up that I got a job in she got to be in this scene.
Oh,
with
wow.
me.
Oh, fun.
Funny.
And she's still lovely friends with all these
Oh,
crew.
that's sweet.
Yeah. I also didn't know how to do heroin. As you can see,
At the
there's
time.
Kavira looking
Oh,
very
wow.
hot.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Janine.
I think we also
Get
missed
it,
the
girl.
Stella cameo in the background.
Oh,
When they go to town, all three guys are wearing
the
the suits
suits
in the
on.
background.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
I think so.
I remember the old lady being pretty pissed that was the scene.
Right.
Of her getting beat up. That was some drama.
Who did she hook up with?
That one is an NDA.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, sorry.
I was very jealous that I did not get to do this next shot.
The wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that I played it so earnest, and this is how it's followed. When I saw, I was like, ah.
That's a great shot.
I remember I had heard about this movie for a long time,
Sure.
like in high school or whatever, and knew a lot about it, but had never seen it. And then I went to a Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
My friends and I were going to Boston for some reason. We went to a Best Buy, and it was there in the Best Buy. And it was truly like oh my gosh,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I
Right.
found it. And I brought it home and didn't get it the first time.
Yeah.
I didn't click into
Yeah,
it.
it does it.
And then every other, I was like, I'm going to give it another shot because I feel like I was not in the right headspace for it. And then after that, we watched it. My college graduation party. We had it at my house.
So you're an indoor kid too.
I have a few weird watching this movie stories. We did it at my house in Connecticut. I went to college in New York. And we got a big screen in the backyard and we watched it in my backyard. And I also saw this movie on the USS Intrepid.
What?
Come on, I worked at the USS
Really?
Intrepid.
Whoa,
That
look
was
at
my
that.
first job.
I saw it there. They, with
New
Vulture. Vulture was having like their summer comedy festival.
Oh,
Come
good.
watch a movie on the deck of a battleship.
How did it play? On
It
a
played great.
battleship? Amazing.
It played great.
What was your job on the USS
I
Intrepid?
had to give a tour and explain. Actually, it was for the Concorde
Okay.
airplane that they put on
Yes.
the battleship or next to the battleship, and I had to memorize everything about the Concorde and give a little tour through the Concorde and explain
Okay, let's hear
what
it.
it was. Oh boy,
What do we got?
that one is not in the vault anymore. Something about it being faster than sound and the
Okay.
first you know.
I saw this movie in the theater first run.
He was the one.
I went in.
Yes.
I lived
He
in New
was the one.
Jersey.
Oh,
Took a
yeah.
train
Then
in.
you were in the theater with us.
And then the same night, I saw Sarah Silverman live.
Wow.
And
First
because
time?
this was so funny, yes, but this was so funny. Sarah Silverman, I was like, oh, like it's almost like this movie broke me.
Yeah.
And I clicked with it immediately.
Okay.
I almost threw
All
up in
right.
the theater from laughing. That's happened twice in my life. This is one of the times.
What was the other one?
Best in Show.
Oh, yeah.
Fred
yes.
Willard.
Two good ones.
So yeah, and then I saw it years later. I don't know if you were there. They had the cast reunion in New York, and all the fans went. And they dressed up, and there were people dressed as the.
Williamsburg?
No, it was in
No?
the city. It was somewhere
Okay.
in the city. But they were dressed like as the can of peas, or
Oh,
like
that's fun.
dressed as you. And it was great until the movie started, and the audience said every line along with it. Every line.
Wow.
It was
Oh,
every
okay.
line. Yeah. So that part wasn't as much
Oh,
fun,
that's like
but
viewings of The Room, only positive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
it was great.
You know, I mean, this was the definition of cult classic because people didn't know what to do with it on the first viewing. And I remember I was this kid, like my first boyfriend in high school who was kind of, a jerk. We're watching it together and he's judging it. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was like one of my experiences. And then 2 years later, I go to my sister's college and everybody's like, oh my God, your character.
Wow.
Crazed, And then I was like, oh, I guess this is cool now. This
Yeah.
is funny now. People got it. It's freaking funny.
Yeah. Did you go to Sundance?
Changed.
I did go to Sundance.
What was the Sundance experience?
I remember that we were sponsored by Grey Goose, and I came home with an entire case.
Wow.
I
That's a
remember.
good memory.
That's my basic and seeing it in a huge theater, which was terribly exciting because I saw it in LA the day of the fire and earthquake.
Whoa.
In the theater. So
Oh my God.
so we left pretty soon after it started, and then we're allowed back in, but I can't remember much because of that.
Of course.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Did it play at Sundance? Like, did it?
Oh yeah.
It people liked it.
Oh God. It was a
Okay, good.
massive audience, and it was a goddamn joy.
That's
it was
amazing.
so fun.
Well received.
Very well received, as they say.
It was the
Awesome,
same
as they
year
say.
as Super Troopers.
Oh wow.
And it was just a good year
What?
for smaller comedy all
Yeah.
around. Like, yeah. It was
But you know,
great.
not in the theaters, right? It didn't. But we had 9/11. Like we had 9/11, and then we
I
had
thought
a
you
Wet
were
Hot
gonna.
release.
I thought you were
and
gonna call it 9/11.
9/11.
and just leave it
Well,
at
that's what
that.
the
I was
kids
like,
call it.
Ooh, yeah, no, we don't.
Yeah. But
we don't.
because this was out around, wasn't it fall? It came
I think
out.
it was after nine. I think it came out.
Well,
after
what year?
9/11.
What was the Sarah Silverman thing I saw? We could probably go backwards from that.
No,
It
and
was
then
cold out when I saw it.
Just didn't. I mean, I recall it not
It was
doing
July.
as well in theaters or
No, it
not getting
wasn't.
as much of a theater, presence as it should have.
That's right.
And now it's this, which is pretty cool.
Do you remember how you felt when it came out and not a lot of people saw it? And you know what I mean?
This
Like,
will be a great story.
no, but it's just like what
I definitely was confused because, while there have been very famous movies that I have seen in the wrong headspace or missed the boat, the minute I read the sides, like I said, I think it's in the deleted scenes where it pans over and like Tim Robbins is it's Shawshank. There's a Shawshank Redemption moment. Yeah. And I went, oh, this is excellent. Yeah. I cannot believe. And I was in another movie at the time, and I was like, get me out of it. Or I was playing Harvey Keitel's daughter or something. And I was just like, you have to get me out of that. So I was very disappointed and sad. And I thought that the LA Weekly's review was stupid. And I was very happy that people finally got it. Because it was so special. And you knew it when you were just so excited to see what everyone had done.
Yeah.
I
feel like acting on a raft is probably hard.
Well, that kid just decided to not try that.
That guy just looked right at the camera. So did that one.
Oh, the kids in this are so great.
Well, that one kid is.
I mean, but even when they're not great, they're great. Like that's
so
part
funny.
of the whole thing.
And this was a cut.
Yeah.
Cameo, right?
Right? Because David's in there.
David
and
comes
Carrie.
out and does a
Carrie
little
Finney.
scene.
Yeah.
But then David gave himself a huge part in the
show.
2 TV shows.
Yeah.
Well, he had to. A lot of people were busy working and couldn't commit to that much
Oh, wow.
time.
Really? He was so good in it.
Yeah.
So funny.
You're both in that,
Yeah, I had a tiny little.
but you're in it.
I had a.
What's your background for that character? Do you think that's Cure Girl's mom? What's the?
Oh.
Oh, I just imagined we were in another time and place.
You're
And this was
okay.
adult Cure Girl. Yeah,
great.
She dyed her hair.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Was taking her revenge.
Your scenes with John Hamm, right?
Oh God, what a great moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so good in that.
Oh, singular.
You are as well.
Thank
I was
you.
just thinking of the end of the season and the whole fight and just how satisfying it is.
Yeah.
To just laugh that hard.
This is one of the
murdered.
best moments.
This frustrated me because this part I didn't get.
Really? Oh, I love it. This is
like-
my kind of joke.
That's what I'm saying. My humor,
Yeah, I
where
love
are
that.
the overlaps?
I was like,
where's
this
the
is
Venn
how they
diagram?
did Yeah.
Oh my God.
Also,
this is my
it not
favorite.
being Joe on the bike
Yeah.
is so funny.
Yes.
How did you both find out about the Netflix stuff coming back?
Are you asking me?
Yeah,
Yeah, all
I
three
saw
of
an
you.
ad in the,
Okay.
in the Entertainment Weekly, I think.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I was at something at LACMA with David, and he pulled me aside. I maybe at a party or something, and he pulled me aside and was like, "It's happening!" And I'd heard that it had been happening,
Yeah.
but never was like, "Oh yeah," but didn't really think that it was. And this time he was like, "I'm not supposed to be telling you this," and I was like, "Oh, thank God." Also, fuck, I think I'm pregnant. Shit.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So I was pregnant in the first one. Yeah, that's why I didn't do some of the things, and it taken forever to get pregnant, and it was fine until the very end of the shoot when they would shoot me above the waist because my pants were just open.
gosh.
Oh my God. Wow.
Wow. You can't tell.
Marguerite, do
You can't
have-
tell. That's great.
Do you have your son? Do you have another kid?
No, just
Okay.
one, just one.
You're a good old boy.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
Have you shown him this or anything
Oh my
of yours?
God.
Well, how old is he? How old is he at this point? He's
He's
what?
9.
7, absolutely
7.
not. No, he's he's 9, so he's just getting it. Like I showed him the Mighty Ducks when we were younger, and I was shooting that, and he sort of was like thinking maybe that's like my life, that happened to me. And then just recently, it's now locking in. So if someone's like, "Hi, I think I reckon," he just steps out and he's like, "She's famous. She was in the Mighty Ducks, you know," and it's very sweet. But
what age do you think you'll show it to him?
17?
That
Okay.
feels right.
Okay.
That feels right. That
Really?
feels right.
I mean, there's a lot of sex and drugs in it.
What are you talking about? We're not
Yeah.
definitely not watching any of it right now.
No.
Not at all.
This is love. This is
is
making
love.
love.
This is a
That's,
beautiful scene.
It is a beautiful
Such
scene.
It's
a
also
beautiful
for
lovemaking.
2001 very progressive. It's
Very.
not treated as a joke. It's treated very seriously.
Edgy.
And yeah.
I really love how they had what's the followed the line? No, that's not the right way. Strung the line? Nope, that's
I don't know
not
what you
it
want to call
either.
it.
Toad.
Towed the
Yes,
line
yes.
Yeah, I helped.
between
Yeah.
the absurdity and the sweetness.
Yes.
Yes.
We figured out Toad right when they showed us their toes.
Aw,
It's really cute.
it's just good timing.
It is really cute. So yeah, I found out. I think the kids, the indoor kids, found out about the show in a way that was a little strange because we're not central characters in
Sure,
the show.
yeah.
But of course, all of our fans, or who are the only people who care about what we're doing, are reaching out for months, going, are you on the show? Are you on the show?
Yeah.
And we're like, no. So I do think at some point all 4 of us had emailed David or Michael and been like, is there room for us on the show? And I don't think that's why, but
Yeah.
they came back around to this cute little cameo they were going to do, and ended up reaching out through our reps. It was a confusing beat though, right? The new media contracts, we were like, there was a hiring as background at one point, and then,
Interesting.
and then I did get this line with John Hamm, which was so cool. And I think bless those actors, those kid actors who were still trying to work as adults. A few of them flew themselves in,
Wow.
I think, to just do it,
Yeah.
just for the honor of it.
Well, it's one of
and-
those
and
things
being
where
a
you're
part
like,
of it.
this is the coolest thing.
It was the
Like
coolest. Yeah, it was the coolest, and that scene is super funny. And John Hamm, what a doll! Like, what a doll of a human. I love people's persona in one place versus who they are, and he is just like a goof.
I mean, I think it's so funny that John Slattery, John Hamm, and Rich Sommer
Yeah.
are all on that show. Like, I think it's very funny that there's like, I don't know, the whole cast of Mad Men's going to be on this.
Yeah. Oh man.
What was it like going back and seeing everyone? I mean, you had sort of seen people at things throughout the year. Like, you guys did a Sketchfest thing and the New York screening and all that, but like really being in it.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember Amy had just done the Golden Globes with Tina Fey and called out Bill Cosby.
Yep.
Oh, sure.
And I just was like, Amy, I don't want to bother you, because she was like on her phone. She doesn't have her kids around. She's chilling in the woods. And she's like, oh, honey, yes. She put down her phone and was like, I just want to thank you so much for having the balls to do that. And she was like, oh, get over here. So I think that I wasn't sure. I had seen some people over the years, and there was different friendliness levels.
Yep.
Just context probably. And it was, so you just didn't know now that Amy was a
Yeah,
colossal
of course.
powerhouse
Right.
that I always knew she was going to be. But
Being a manager.
but everyone was incredible. Kristen Wiig was a goddamn
Oh,
pleasure.
man.
There's so many people on that season. You're like saying names, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Josh
Kristen Wiig's
Charles.
on it. Josh
Yeah.
Charles is great in it. Yeah.
Josh
Dar-
he was has always been my Holden Caulfield. Like
Yes.
when I watched or I read Catcher in the Rye, I just always assumed him. So he very much liked that compliment. So we got along really
Oh,
well.
that's great. Of course. Yeah. Did you guys still do improv in the infirmary and hang out when you came back?
Well, but it's not the same spot.
Listen, it's a joke.
Okay.
That was the big difference, though, is that because we weren't away, we just didn't get to hang in
You
that
just went
same
home.
way.
Yeah.
Unless
No,
you
off
like
duty.
hopped a ride with someone back to town. There was like one hotel with 3 rooms on
Oh,
the
God.
property.
Oh.
Because it was just opening. So it was a definite different vibe. And then also, like, I think we brought out wine one night, and the producer was just like, it was like it was Sabbath.
Oh, okay.
Is that right? No, wait, Shabbat. God
Yeah,
damn it. I'm
that's
such
the
a
same
Gentile.
thing. That's the same thing.
Is
You
it?
did it
Okay.
well.
Okay.
You did great.
I'm blushing so much. Oh my God.
I was like, I can't answer. I
Stop
don't
it.
know.
It's the
I'll let
same
them
thing.
answer.
It's the
Yeah,
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so someone brought some wine out, and it was definitely like, I was like, wow, times have changed.
Right.
You know, when everyone's trying to get wrapped because it was Halloween and everyone had kids and wanted
Right.
to try to get
man.
to stuff like that.
Where was it?
Malibu
okay.
at the Calamigas Ranch.
I wonder, did that hold up and everything? That
Well, I don't
happened
know.
I
with the
didn't hear that
fires?
it burned down.
Yeah.
I
That
hope
was
not.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. That ranch was really beautiful. So much was.
Did you guys get tired of wearing the same clothes?
No.
Because it's for the whole month. You're wearing the
Yeah.
same outfit basically that
No.
entire.
I mean, it was the best costume fitting ever. I went to
Yeah.
a weird small building in Chinatown in New York. I tried on one outfit. She's like, "That looks great." Done. I was like, and here it becomes like such a
Right.
part of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that Leslie, I believe was her name, and then I think she did the costumes on the first or the the first one, the first day at camp.
Okay, so I want to talk about my costume, but first I want to watch David Hyde Pierce and the beautiful fake tears they dripped all over his face and the big hug fest cry that's about to happen. And I think my only line that stayed in the movie, which, by the way, when we went to the premiere, and this was such a fun, actor lesson, it's like, how many times in my career am I going to just be cut straight out of a thing?
There you go. You just said your line.
I did. I said my one line. I did a great. I was very enthusiastic, and it's just so interesting because I just made an independent.
No, you had a second
I
line.
said a
right
second
there.
line,
You
two
said
lines.
Melvin.
Yeah.
It's amazing because you can have this great scene and it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
There's so
Right.
much going on in
Yeah.
this film, and it's so fun. And but yeah, no, going to the premiere for the first time out of 30 in my life,
Yeah.
where you go, oh yeah, I'm not in this anymore,
Sure.
but it's great.
Sure.
That was like me at the Super Bowl this weekend.
Oh God.
Were you supposed to play?
I
Tell us,
and
Marguerite.
it's tragic. It's tragic. Oh no, I did this really cool commercial with David Beckham and Matt
Oh,
Damon.
with Matt Damon. Yeah.
Come
Directed-
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, directed by Mr. Ben Affleck.
Oh my God.
It was so great.
Oh, wow.
But I knew that it would probably get chopped to bits.
What was your part?
I played Matt Damon's wife. There might be more spots, but I
Yeah.
also think that we were there to help Matt if he needed.
Yes. Flesh out Matt's character.
give him someone to work off of.
So Ben directed that and the Dunkin' Donuts ad. He had 2 ads that he directed during the Super Bowl. And the Dunkin' Donuts one was 8 minutes
That was
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Brian's in a movie with Ben.
I am in a movie with Ben. Well, I
You
also
are?
worked. I was craft service on Chasing Amy.
Come on.
Amazing. I
yeah.
love that
Everything.
movie.
And then I'm in it as well. Very
He's
briefly.
in
Amazing.
everything.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Smith produced the movie that
Yeah.
Michael Black starred in that I directed.
Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic.
when I was 22.
There's not
Go
Yeah.
on with your
Not
bad
a-
song.
Yeah.
an inch of this you haven't touched. I feel bad though. This was the scene where Janine could not remember her lines, and it
Oh.
was because she had to say all these science terms.
Sure, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Polars, spolars.
Yes.
Polars
you
and
know?
spolars.
You know,
Those
all
are big
those
line.
things,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's how I would have said it. So it was just fun. It was kind of adorable.
But even her stand-up, she's famous for having to have the notebook next to her.
I
Like
love
she,
that
that's
about
part
her
of it. So
stand-up.
she's just not
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not-
memorization.
she-
Not putting in the work. You can say it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
Oh, the
all right.
barbecue.
Oh, this was your audition.
This is my audition scene. Yeah.
Can you do it for us now?
Ah. I'm just not going to mess with perfection.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's good.
So
I mean-
good. It's so good. So I can't steal the fire of this scene, but I will say I think my wardrobe happened on set. I don't
Really?
remember a separate fitting. I could be making that up. But what the key was I came in and they chopped my hair off. They put it in a ponytail. It was longer, like Mallrat girls. They put it in a ponytail. They said, "Do you mind?" I said no because it was exciting.
Yeah.
They chopped it off and they dyed it. They put this temporary dark dye in it. And I went back to school, and now I was a goth girl. That was it. My whole life changed.
That's fun.
That
Because
really
I didn't
shifted.
even know what goth was.
That shifted how you were.
I didn't
from
know
that
how
point
they.
on?
I didn't know. I don't know who the Cure was. You know, I came. They dressed me up. I had this whole new look, and I went back to school, and the rest was history. And I was never normal again. You know? It's just
Oh.
the-
Do you like the Cure now?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, you don't, that was
Sure.
not committal.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do. I mean,
You need to
yeah,
go
I
see them
do.
live, young lady.
Maybe I do.
Yes, they are
Maybe I do.
phenomenal. They were just here. It was
were
absolutely.
they
It was
just
like
here?
one of the best concerts I've ever been.
They
to.
should tell you when they're here.
Yeah, you should be in a video.
They should.
Yeah.
Get on that. Marguerite, you're managing her now.
Yep. No problem. Next time they're in town.
Yeah. No, you really are a good manager. If I
Thank
think
you.
about all
Thank
these
you.
stories, I add them up. You know.
I'm looking for
Does
your
that pay?
Yes.
Okay.
percentage.
Maybe
you
I'll
got a
do it.
percentage.
If I
Yeah.
get jobs.
Okay.
So I can't speak to that really.
It's 10%, correct?
Oh, they make all sorts of exceptions.
Capture the Flag, so good.
And I love their
I
love.
don't think I've ever played that.
We're going to after. We're going to
Great.
play Capture the Flag.
That's why I said it.
And now
did
this
love this game.
this guy was a real,
Yeah.
I want to say Kenyan runner.
And there's
and-
Paul in the red, dressed as a different counselor.
Oh wow, I've never seen that before.
Explain why. What's going on there?
Because we would get bored. I tried to get into the scene with the scene where they're doing aerobics, but they're like, Marguerite, no, we already have too much.
Oh.
You're in it too much.
That's who you had
Yeah.
a crush on.
Yeah. And look at, I'm like, I can't believe I have a crush. Oh.
That's what the next Wet Hot spinoff could be, is
Yeah.
Paul's other character.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, do you think there'll be a fourth?
What did Mike say? Mike said if we're like super old
Okay.
and then we play super young.
That's
Oh, that's great.
very
Okay.
funny.
I remember there was talk at one point about doing a Christmas reunion called Wet Hot American Winter in New York. It was in New York.
I'll get on that and start
That'd be so great.
bothering David and Mike.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I want another one.
I do feel we skipped a good Zach Orth mention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
can we?
I would love to talk about Zach
Me
Orth.
too.
I
all
love
day
Zach
long.
Orth.
Where? Because why? Because he was famous. When I came to set, right?
Mm-hmm.
Marguerite, you were famous. Paul Rudd was famous. Janine Garofalo was famous. Everybody was famous. Zach Orth was so famous. And I loved him, and I loved his
What was he
career.
famous for?
He had done
for
like
you?
Did he do Opus? Was he in that movie?
trying to
He was
look
in
Mr. Holland's
everything.
Mr. Holland's
was
Opus.
He in that? Was he in
I
that?
didn't know him from that, but I just remember him being the grown-up on set because he was married and he had dogs and he had a camcorder and he would like sit like a dad and like videotape everybody, which I was like, wow, that's gonna happen to me one day.
Yeah, you'll be
He-
a big kid one day.
Oh, he's in
too.
Romeo and Juliet,
Oh,
right.
That was
Yeah,
a big
that was a
deal.
big deal.
and he's in In and Out, the Frank
I
Oz
don't know why
movie.
Yes.
Poor
He's in-
Zach Orth. I probably
Yeah.
compared him to another actor who was in Mr. Holland's Opus. But no, but he was just the best.
Yeah, in a movie
was-
called Down to You, he plays a character named Monk Jablonski.
Of course he does.
Which
Yeah,
is great.
Monk Jablonski.
Monk Jablonski.
Well, I hope he's having a
He's
lovely
also-
life.
Fantastic in Stella shorts. He's
Yes.
Yeah.
like so good. In
I
them.
saw him on Broadway.
I think he has like a whole thing upstate where you can like go
Yeah.
have a experience.
He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
What
doing
kind of experience?
like just a vacation. Jeez.
I like an acting experience, a dining experience.
You can have any experience you want. Yeah. I remember thinking the scene would go like more romantic than that move and was like, okay. Okay, this is not how I imagined it was going to be a terribly real romantic scene. I was just loved falling in love at this age. I was just like as many times as possible.
And look how sweet you are at it. Look at those dreamy eyes looking.
It wasn't
at you.
acting. I just
Yeah, because you
needed-
loved him.
Yep, I did.
Love him.
This is one scene where I feel like you can tell that it's pouring in some shots.
Yes.
There's like
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
in the background. You're like, oh, it's so wet. If you look
Yeah.
at the donkey area.
Yeah.
It
And
is the
also, he
best.
was so sick the entire
No.
time and smoked cigarettes the whole time.
Oh.
And it now sounds
But
terrible.
you had a crush on him.
That's how dreamy Michael Showalter
Wow.
is.
Wow.
You must know. Also, that hair, I'm just for
Yeah.
it.
That is his. That's
I
his real
love
hair.
it. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's adorable.
Yeah.
The long
Also,
hair.
I do love a tall, slim build.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Cool. I'll just go fuck off then.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Also, the goat doing a lot of
Yes.
good work here.
Yeah, yeah. We're getting very upstage. By the go. And
And
then
I'll say it. I like a strong nose. I like a strong nose on
Again,
a
I'll be
gentleman.
fucking
very
off in the corner.
handsome. Very handsome. In fact, during the Brutalist, which I was watching, they kept being like, I'm ugly. And I'm like, you're fucking Adrian Brody. You're not ugly.
shut up.
You're in Vogue.
Right? Love Adrian Brody.
But imagine if it was Michael Showalter in The Brutalist. Just imagine.
Oh my God,
for
that's a
second.
dream.
What a
That's a
perfect
dream
movie
movie.
that would be.
I just peed in my pants.
Oh man.
I would love that.
Yeah.
So good in the Baxter, by the way. And
He is,
romantic
yeah.
lead in that
He is
too.
great in The Baxter.
Yeah.
I've always meant to watch that.
Wait, what?
I know.
Oh, it's
I
great.
think
You'll
I
love
was
it.
like, oh, Michelle Williams, you're so lucky. Still hadn't separated.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess not.
Took a long time to get out of character.
It is so interesting. What, like Molly Shannon's story feels so separate from everybody else's.
I totally
It
agree
is.
with
Was
you.
she around a lot? Like, did you?
I think she filmed very separately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I met her when
Yeah.
she came in the infirmary,
Mm-hmm.
and she was so as dreamy as you'd hope, and she
Yeah.
brought cookies that she made, which was
great.
also very exciting.
Oh.
And then, because nothing normal had happened, and like we would go to, Walmart and buy Britney Spears posters because that's what was going on, and like just cover our rooms and things. And so, yeah, she was a breath of fresh air, but she came in and I think I had a 2-week break or something. So I wasn't too sure, but I do feel that it's interesting.
It's so separate. I mean, she comes in the end when you're all watching the talent show, but that's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
the one thing with everybody.
I do think that must have been part and parcel of her career. But
Yeah.
I did see her. I did also see
Yeah.
her from afar.
Because she's post SNL at this point. I think
Yeah.
she's gone
Oh,
at this
She
point.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was cooking. Yeah, of course. My only claim to fame on this film really is that I got to play basketball with Paul Rudd, which I do think is in that book.
Oh wow.
It's very
And
important.
he was always in character. So I don't think we really, connected at the time, even though he's a
Yes.
sweetie pie.
Yeah, no,
was
he
doing his
can't be
thing.
too friendly with you because
No.
of your age.
Oh,
also probably true.
I had learned this on the Mighty Ducks. All the boys got
Yeah.
to hang with Emilio, and I was like, "Mom," she's like, "He can't take you to the movies.
Yeah.
You're 14. You're 15. Absolutely not. It's just optics. I'm sorry."
Well, that's
good
good. That's good
optics then.
though.
No,
Yeah,
that's
it's
really
good that that
optics.
happened.
Yeah, that is good.
It
But
is
he
good.
was great to play basketball with. We had a fun
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
We played horse. Delightful.
What was it like making the transition from a child actor to a adult actor?
Slow.
Yeah.
I think I was definitely needing people pleasing approval, more attention. And then when I got it, was like, oh, that's wrong. So then I had to like decide I was going to do it as an adult. And I went to college. I studied something else, and then just never went to my policy classes and always was in the theater. I was like, okay, I guess I'm not doing poli-sci. And then I think too, like once you realize that your agent isn't like a parental figure and you can have a team, that took a long time. So I think and then to undo a lot of unhealthy power dynamics, and you can speak up, or no one's going to cater to your every whim because you're a child. Like you just have to relearn everything and try to figure out what the hell it is now for you. It's a really weird experience, but I wouldn't trade it, because this is where I learned like how to feel my feelings, how to make friends, how to be vulnerable in a hopefully safe space, but not all sets are safe.
Yeah.
I think I feel lucky that it has happened.
Yeah, and to survive the transition is so rare.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
some of us don't really transition.
No, but you're both working. You're
Some
working.
of us don't really transition, and we still make peace,
Sure.
right? And then other people, it's catastrophic and hard, and
Yeah.
there's just all sorts of terrible things that happen to these young people that work.
Mm-hmm.
So
I also think too, a lot of people, they start their career whatever age, and then at a certain point, if they're not making enough money to actually stay doing it, they have to go figure something else out.
Yeah.
And kid actors are also just more of those same actors.
Yeah.
So they just have the developmental
Yeah.
part. So
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of odd birds.
I don't want to keep stop talking about this, but it is genuinely so funny that this is the scene we are having this conversation
Oh,
over.
yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
I was thinking that I had at the time the social skills of a can of vegetables, but then I thought this can is actually way cooler than I was. Way cool, like the coolest character in the movie,
Yeah.
arguably. You know.
How great is it that the prequel series gave an origin to the can of vegetables?
That's amazing.
It's like treating it that seriously. That's great.
You had any doubt?
I know.
Right.
These are artistes at
Yeah, that's
at
true.
the highest level of their form.
I did artistes. Yeah.
What that was a parody of how prequels have to over-explain the movie they're
sure.
prequeling,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
they didn't really think we needed a. Can you get them on the phone real quick? I have many questions.
I did a show with John Benjamin in October,
Now you're
maybe.
just bragging.
yeah?
And
How's that?
it was great.
Yeah.
He's amazing. But he told a story about this because he's the voice of the Can of the Vegetables, and
cool.
he's in a recording studio in New York with I think it was Wayne and Showalter, and he did the whole. I can suck my own dick, and I do it too. Like he says the line. Wayne and Showalter like leave for some reason, and the recording guy goes to him and goes, "Hey man, I don't want to give notes. That doesn't make sense. A can of vegetables can't suck his own dick." He goes, "Maybe just like do it a different way. Come back when they come back, ask them to do it a different way." And John's like, "Yeah, okay, man, sure." And they come back, and John's like, "Hey, I think we should try it a different way. Tony over here said that maybe we should do something different because it didn't make sense." And they like went through just to make that guy
Oh, that's nice.
feel good.
That's really nice.
That's very sweet.
Very silly. I was trying to find the deleted scene in here
Oh.
because I know it's in
This
here.
is the shot for shot from Animal House.
Oh, so good.
And they cut out Paul in his sweater being Donald Sutherland coming out.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So this is, yeah. And yeah.
And I do think, in terms of reading the script and why maybe my mom could have said no, I think in the script I had, the movie starts with a boner. Like there is a kid in his bunk with a boner in the script that I read.
That seems perfectly on brand.
Perfectly on brand. And also, or wait, maybe one of the characters. Maybe it's Victor and he has a boner. I don't know.
I don't want to see
You guys
it.
both have
I
scripts
think
in
it's
your
one
hands?
of I think it's one of the kids if I remember right.
Yeah.
Sorry, have we disappeared?
No, please. Oh, I love this.
Marguerite, what if your kid wanted to be an actor?
That would be surprising. He has to live with two actors, and
Right,
I
right.
think he's my new revelation. He's like, Jesus Christ, these two.
It's really fun.
But we also look at each other, my husband and I, sometimes, and are like, I mean, if he wants to do it, he's gonna fucking be great at it.
Right.
So he has I think something, but he doesn't like the attention. So he could be
Gotcha.
a great actor.
Right.
Like,
That's how it starts.
yeah.
You don't want anybody to look at you.
Did you guys figure it out who the boner is?
The boner is one of the kids. I'm trying to find Madeline's deleted,
deleted
scene.
I
It's in
comment
here.
on it? That's funny. I don't remember
Yeah.
sending in a comment on it.
I
but
remember not getting this when I saw this because I was on set watching it and I was like, well, this part I don't get, but it'll all come together, I'm sure. And I think what really connects me actually to this character is his relationship with Miles, his sous chef.
Yes.
so good.
Because of their real relationship, you really can go on the journey with the vegetables.
I agree with everything you just said.
No, that's true. It's they the way they take it seriously and the real part of their relationship helps the weirder stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Miles'
Fly.
performance so understated and
Yeah.
genuine.
Also, I was like, is this what happened to people in Nam? In public school, you just don't get to Vietnam. You kind of
Yes.
like
No.
run out of time
You
at
do.
the end of the year.
You do.
The books end in the 50s.
Yeah.
Quite
Yeah.
on purpose.
Yeah.
Vietnam.
That's
They
it.
don't want
And
to talk. They don't
Yeah.
want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Is the truth.
I saw you guys all sign something that they hung up in this room. It was in the behind the scenes thing.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
remember
This thing
doing
in
it?
the
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like that. I think it was
Okay.
another piece that they like put onto it or something. I wonder if any of the kids going there now know about this.
I'm sure.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't know.
Don't
Well,
they
I mean,
sneak watch it?
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the film on Betamax that they show. right?
Sure.
Yeah, no, they have to.
I love Paul. So cute. Ah.
Lifting the kid. Yeah, no, this
Yeah,
is. We're
this
gonna
looks
get
like
lost.
it's
When it was
raining.
getting pulled
Yeah.
into the movie.
Yeah. Well, pulled into the script over here, trying to find an impossible thing. Oh man.
Did you like how the series ended? The third chapter. Like,
Wait, sorry.
where it was-
It was Victor's boner.
okay.
We
Victor's
have
boner? Okay,
confirmation.
The original title of the movie was Victor's Boner.
Victor's boner. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I was asking Margaret if were you a fan of how it ended, where it was kind of and maybe not real. It was all Coop's writing, or did you like that? No.
in his gurnal.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it needed it. But
Right.
I'm not a professional writer, so we all just have our opinions. I hadn't remembered that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I brought you down.
just remembered the explosion in the evening and lots of. That's what I remember. And,
Yep.
So I think I always imagined it's like the movie where you kind of wander away type
Right.
of thing. Yeah. I was always very jealous of this group. I thought you guys, I was like, I missed all of this.
It was very
And
fun.
Kabira would talk about how great it was with all the kids and how sweet, and that there was like a different tone during the shooting of all of this.
There was a good amount of innocence over on this side of the camera.
You need to really balance the debauchery that was coming out of the art department. That's where all the parties were.
I was pretty perceptive. I got glimpses,
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
very afraid of those glimpses.
Yeah.
But like when we went to the premiere and the
Yeah,
cast
yeah.
party, I was like, oh, something's going on here. And I brought my very edgy friend to the
Oh.
premiere because I was like, oh,
what was happening at the premiere? I don't think I went because I was out here.
God, yeah. Well, so I went and my scene wasn't in it, but it was fun, and I'm around all these working adults. And I think actually at the party, I talked for about 3 hours to Michael Ian Black and got his mind. His mind dump was very interesting.
Oh,
But
well, you picked well, ma'am. You picked well.
Yeah, no, he was wonderful. But it was just the debauchery was there.
All right.
We are all
Fabulous.
human beings.
What did you
and-
talk to Michael about for 3
Yeah,
hours?
No, it was his. I mean, he was talking to me.
Yeah, about what? What did he? What was his monologue?
The universe,
Yeah.
death, life,
That makes
Oh,
sense.
career.
Yeah.
Just like
he has a good book about how to be a man.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he wrote it to his son,
Letter
and
to
it's
My Son.
so great. A letter to my son.
It's so good.
oh wow.
He also has a book that he co-wrote with Meghan McCain, where it's liberal point of view
Jesus.
and then Meghan McCain point of view,
Holy
back and forth, because they were
cow.
friends.
He is
And
so cool.
it was so well done.
That's very smart. I will say too, my mother spent a lot of time on set talking to David Hyde Pierce about Alzheimer's.
Oh.
Because I think his mother had maybe gone through it, and her mother had gone through it, and he had a lot of work with the foundation, and so
Wow.
they're very serious people doing this movie.
Ooh.
Oh, and then there's a bucket on Michael
And
Showalter's
and
head.
after that, Amy is supposed to come out and be like, Coop, are you okay? Because there was another subplot of her being jealous about
Yes.
Katie, and they were trying to sort of see if that was going to work.
You're doing so much business here in the back.
I do think it's still my talent. Not talking is still my talent.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed making all sorts of goofy faces and running when they had me run.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to be an athlete. This is great.
I mean that the shot set up when he's like, meet me at the picnic table in
Yep.
10 seconds, and then you guys are all there.
They
It's
just
like
did it.
satisfying.
they just did it,
So
but it's
funny.
so.
Well, we had to rush in. It was a
Yeah.
big task. Oh, and actually, I think I say this in the script book, but the first day on set, I had never met my hero, Janine Garofalo, from The Truth About Cats and Dogs, and I had to tackle her. They were like, just first scene, just go, just run in and tackle her. And we had a little mat laid out because we run in and
Yeah.
a few
Yeah,
scenes
yeah.
from now knock her over. So I was so honored.
Was she okay with that? She liked it.
Oh, yeah. She was
She must have known it was going to happen.
No, that's
No, she didn't read the script.
That's right. She wasn't prepared.
She did know.
Is she still doing stand up? I'd love to go see
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
She's
she
in New
totally
York.
is, but she's in New York. That's what it is. Right?
Yes, it must be the reason.
it's a very New York centric cast, at least at this
Yeah.
point.
I think that's why I wasn't invited. To
Yeah, to be in it.
I was
Yeah.
in New Jersey.
Yeah,
so-
yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
You were gonna be Cape Boy.
I'm way too old to be K4.
But that's the joke, Brian.
Brian.
I don't understand jokes.
Me neither.
That's why I got the part.
What has been like?
What has been like?
What has been like the lasting experience? Like, have you had any weird experiences with fans coming up to you, or
Not from Wet Hot fans.
from
There's
from
deep
what else, though?
respect.
Wait, what have you gotten weird fans from then? Mighty Ducks?
None of my fans are weird.
Oh, good. Okay.
Look
None
at
of
that.
them are
Starla
weird.
from
Very
Lost?
gracious.
No.
Oh, deep cut.
Deep cut.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean they sometimes don't, they're the ones that don't bring it up until later in the hang.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of like while you're checking out at XYZ.
Do
Yeah,
you
that's
get
good.
any easy fans?
Yeah, occasionally.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier.
It's
a
so
lovely
far
movie.
back,
Yeah.
and then there's another movie now, and there's a TV show called Easy. So we're far back. I remember thinking the scene was so intense because he was smoking in it.
Yes. This dance number is exquisite.
Yeah, and the coach.
The coach is exquisite.
I-
Yeah, I do think I was exclusively, I only was dated in college because people knew Wet Hot. That was
Sure.
the only reason people liked me. So
Is
that
that good
happened.
Is that
for you or
hard?
is that bad for you? Yeah.
No, it was very strange. I had a very
Yeah.
strange few decades.
Yeah.
Like, you are this.
Yeah.
That is cool. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
So there's some of that happens. But I will say, the weirder thing that did happen was on the Netflix show, because it's this little cameo. It was so much fun to do. But of course, you bring in a loop group after to fill in sounds, and so there was a loop group that came in on our scene after we're kicked to the ground, and this incredibly talented artist mimicked my voice perfectly.
Wow.
And she says on the ground, "My uterus." So for months, I'm getting DMs, I'm getting Twitters, I'm getting like, "Oh, my uterus, that's so funny." And just like not what I would say. I'm a little bit of a stodgy feminist, you know? So I was just like, what? Did I say that? And I finally put the pieces together and talked to my friend on set. And she was like, "Oh, yeah, the loop group artist did it." Like, for months being quoted and you didn't even say it.
Of course, yeah.
Well, let me apologize for those tweets. I
Exactly.
thought it was very funny.
Madeline Blue,
Exactly.
my uterus, so funny. I'm like, oh. I thought, but I did think I went crazy. I
Of
was
course,
like, oh, maybe
yeah. Or maybe I just said it and
I'm
totally
an improv
forgot that I
genius,
yes.
you know. Yes, but no, it was not what happened. So
So this is your hangout spot.
Yeah.
And they're trashing
wow.
it.
And they're trashing it. Yeah.
trashing it.
Everybody had those curtains. I remember that. And everyone was excited to see this scene. This was a big build up. Everyone was around watch for the destruction. Yes, very exciting.
destruction.
This was raining.
Oh
haven't
God.
Really mentioned Joel Trulio.
No,
at all.
he's great at it.
amazing, and well,
Epic.
and everything. But
Yeah.
like, he's
Yes.
the best. He's so great.
Kind and funny.
He did a
Yes.
screenplay reading for me once, where he
Yeah.
played a Jewish mobster,
Oh wow.
and he emailed me afterwards for weeks after in character.
Oh!
Yeah, he loved doing it so
How
much.
delightful.
Yeah, he's such a
Delightful.
sweet man. Oh,
Yeah, he
What have
really
you
is.
not done?
Uh,
You've worked on every side.
What
of
have
the
you not done,
camera.
Brian?
What have I not done?
Yeah, what have
name,
you not
name
done?
one
Not really an
movie you have
actor.
not-
Yeah, that's true.
I've had nothing to do with The Brutalist.
That's
Okay.
fair.
Those are
This
only
movie
yeah.
had nothing to do with.
Yeah, those are the only two though.
It was the only two. That's correct.
Sing Sing was great.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, but in the book, Abby's making out with this boy over here, and she said she like asked his mother,
Yes.
and the
Oh,
mom was like, "Yeah, that's fine."
I
Go
know.
for it.
We need to talk to him about his time.
Yes.
And I think it's hard too. I was
Well,
thinking,
I'm sure he was okay with it.
yeah, little different.
Yeah.
But it is, I would say, more difficult if with a part where people in your 20s could project a lot as to who you were. You see like a lot more of my character and kind of be like, oh, I see what the chick's like. But like they're coming and they're assuming so much about you.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah,
that
that's
I was
hard.
cool and edgy and gothy.
Yeah.
And then some of that too. I was still developing, so I became a little bit
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
like that.
You leaned in
And also they saw it in me. You know, Michael and David really saw
before
You
you
could
who
do
I
it.
was before
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah.
So, it all kind of evened out. It all shook out okay.
I guess this scene too. I heard that it was very dangerous
Oh,
because it was like really by a
Oh,
area
by
where
the
it was-
waterfall. Yeah,
by the
yeah.
waterfall. Yeah.
This is where I almost threw up.
Oh, this part
It
right here.
started with his like
Yeah.
he's doing it, and then
Yeah.
the laughing that doesn't stop
oh
Yeah.
was
God.
it was 1-2 punch of that,
Yeah.
and Do you want me to do it here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
let's
hold
hear it. Get back in the character.
It's the best.
Yeah, Camerino.
We only get to see this movie once for the first time once.
Totally.
And that stinks.
Yeah.
Very true.
There's
And they don't make movies like this anymore. They don't make just
comedies. We need more comedies.
no.
I had another
Look at this.
line
You've
right
got
there.
so many lines in
what
this
was
I know.
movie.
What was
Maybe we should just let them die. And then I say,
I love this when he does the math in the air. Oh my
Yeah.
god! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god! No. That was weird too. Is just loving the movie that you're in so much. Like I would say, I still break out from time to time and go beautiful, beautiful, which hasn't happened yet, but I'm ready for it. And I felt like such an asshole, but I was like, can I like it too?
Yeah.
Jeez,
You
I'm
can.
sorry.
You can like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think you're allowed. I think I've never not said day by day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I say David A
think
so
I
much.
say gurnal all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. And 20-sided die.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think I'll ever forget.
And now douchebags are like, douching is like a new thing on commercials all the time now. They're trying to sell it. It's like,
They're douching again. we're douching again.
If you
No,
have
they're
ads
trying.
on Hulu,
Yeah.
every other commercial is for a douche product.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's
Male
amazing.
douche, lady douche.
Wow.
The other ones are for
Everyone a
him.
douche.
No,
douche.
letting us down.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Here we go.
Oh, here.
This
okay.
is me. That's me. That's
Not yet.
Me.
There she is.
Yeah.
Did you whisper anything? Do you remember?
I would have.
Yeah.
I would have said something so
This
smart.
hair is
Hey,
so
I really love the
excellent.
truth about cats and dogs.
I do love that
I'm
you're,
sorry for doing
I
this.
didn't want to be
Sorry.
a creep. I
you're
wouldn't
immediately
have
whispering as soon as she hits the ground.
Yeah.
Like you don't give her a second. It's the best. It's so funny.
Oh man.
Can I be honest? When I first saw the movie,
Yeah.
I thought this was Coop, who had learned to be cool from Gene, and this was his way of being
Oh.
cool.
That tracks. That
Yeah,
tracks.
really,
I always
I
thought
was-
it was a random insert.
Yep. That's what I thought.
So I think what you've done is much better.
Thank you.
That's really clever.
That's what
Yeah.
oh, the triple take
It's very
is coming up.
meta. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're part of a lot of gifts.
Yeah, oh, wow. Yeah.
Like the Paul Rudd triple take that he's about to
Good
do,
writing.
I feel like is used so much on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at that.
glad I got to tell you.
And you didn't even know.
Yeah,
I love it.
I feel like that's used a lot. Them laughing is used a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was my second time in my child career where I was asked to give the middle finger, and it became
What was
kind of a thing.
the first
At
time?
the end, at the end in the credits, I give the middle
Yeah,
finger.
yeah,
Yep.
And on The Sopranos, I was
Oh,
known
yes.
for giving
Yes,
my
let's
little
talk
middle,
about
my
this.
little
Let's talk
tiny
about
middle finger.
Sopranos.
Yes.
Well,
let's.
Remind everyone who you played in Sopranos.
The original Janice Soprano.
Yes,
Before
So
I
cool.
ate a Totoro.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
An audition. I had a very normal child actor
Yeah.
career. A very normal D-list child actor career.
So
I
what
just
does that mean?
auditioned. I just auditioned for stuff.
Yeah,
You just would be in school, and then either your mom would take you out early, or right the minute you get out, you were like, "Fuck, I'm going to LA." I mean, great, let's go.
I did not get taken to LA as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In New York car, all of that was accurate. In
Yeah.
the car, drive.
I just don't know if I would drive my kid like that far for a commercial.
no.
It was a lot.
You
And
know?
my mom claimed she was not a stage mom, but
She was.
I mean, her whole life was like jettisoning me to
Yeah,
auditions
yeah.
in New York, like driving like a spy.
Do you two like auditioning?
Oh, nobody
does
likes
anyone like
auditioning.
No,
I don't think
know.
so.
Oh.
I
Some
feel like some
people
people
do,
are
some
better
people
at
do.
it than others.
Yeah, I mean, I
it's-
think you can be good at it and not like it.
Do you think you're good at it?
Sure, I got jobs.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
But it's like it's yours. When you put it up, it's yours for that moment of time, and that's lovely.
It's
And
a
then it's
wonderful
like
attitude.
you know, people are like, "Well, I really got the ones I really worked hard on," and I'm like, "I fucking love and work hard on every single one." Shut your mouth.
Great. Yeah.
So
Right.
it's just about Oh, this was so exciting.
Judah.
to
It was
meet him.
exciting.
Judah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone
you-
was so excited when he came to set. It was very exciting.
I do remember the excitement. I feel like I remember that excitement. Yeah, but you do them and they're gone forever, and that's just such an interesting part of being an artist in this way, where your whole job is no one will ever see it.
Yeah.
Right.
Your whole job is auditioning and auditioning and auditioning.
Who is Maloney talking to in the back? I've thought about this forever.
Oh, that's
his
supposed to be
wife.
his wife.
Yeah.
That's
And it is his
Kelsey's
real life
Oh.
life, isn't it?
I can't remember what it is. Okay, I couldn't remember.
I
Interesting.
think he introduces her in the movie, doesn't he?
As
Does
his
not.
wife.
It's in a-
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we missed
at the
it.
end.
Oh.
We were,
Okay.
Oh, maybe right after this. Yeah.
Have either of you gotten parts specifically because of this movie that you know about?
Yes.
Oh gosh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I didn't know if
Yes.
anyone was
Well,
like, "Look, I'm a big wet hot guy.
Yes.
Like, this is why you got this." I don't know.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
I mean, definitely did like a pilot after this for sure. Where I met my husband, did the show. I think because they were such big fans. Allison Jones was casting. And then also I know I did like a pilot of another show, and he was like, "I just want to tell you in my writer's room, your first line when you talk to the girls in the bathroom," I say that to my cast or to my writers like every day, like, hey, let's go. And so I think I got that because of that.
Wow.
I remember I thought this was going to be a lot more like high school level
Yes.
instead of more
Adult
grade
and-
school level.
Yeah.
No, this
Oh,
performance,
this sorry.
performance here, and they were just teaching them the choreography. I was like shocked. And I was like, what? But it says in the script, a Broadway style number.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I know, this is all we could pull together. And I was like, she really felt let down because here we had this Broadway actress to do it, and we weren't able
Honoring
to
her.
do justice to the script.
Yeah. Which is very important to Marguerite, and that's why she brought her script today.
Yeah.
This girl, okay, the flower girl,
Yeah.
is the one that Kate Boy had the biggest crush on.
This one with the flat.
the beautiful the one who just did the prayer hands. We just missed
Oh
her.
yeah,
okay.
she's very pretty
She
in the
just-
very healthy, like California way.
Yes, the
Like,
healthy
will
California
play
way.
volleyball.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now I'm remembering, it's coming back to me.
Yeah.
The first day I sat down, why I had a crush on Kate Boy was he said to me, "Oh, you have the coolest pupils," and I was like, "Oh, you look so
Wow.
nice." But then he started telling me all about the hot girl in the Broadway show.
But you know who has even cooler pupils?
I love that it all
Touche.
comes back to you, sir.
I feel like Day Bidet came up as a riff at
Yes.
camp, right? It wasn't
I think this
like
is
Jim
a
Stansel.
Yes.
Yeah,
Did you guys steal anything from set?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I should have
just-
stolen.
You should have kept the
20-sided
outfit.
die.
I know. I
Yeah.
have the necklace, I think.
Oh,
Or I
okay.
bought one not realizing that it's exactly the same. Like 10 years later. And I was like, oh, you just fucking like it. Okay.
Well, you are called
And I
back.
have been looking for, I just realized watching this right now, I have been
Yeah.
looking for turquoise earrings with no, not set in anything, which are those.
Oh, how
So
funny.
basically trying to go back to my youth, and I can see why.
Fans of our podcast, send them to us and we'll get them.
We will
Oh,
get
yes.
them to
Please do. I will wear them and post about it.
I was desperately looking for the wet hot shirt that some artist made a bunch of years ago and like gave to a lot of us. I don't know if and I couldn't
I
find
think
it.
it's Rusted Wave.
Yes, Rusted
yeah,
Wave.
Rusted Wave has a great wet hot shirt.
I couldn't find.
I
my
have the
cool t-shirt.
bracelet.
Oh, you have this bracelet.
What did I take though?
They were cool. Yeah, I don't know where my shirt went. I was trying to wear it here today.
Yeah.
For our picture, for our big
Yeah.
picture.
God, I look
Yeah.
like 4. And I remember really practicing this scene, like really being like, I want to push in on her face, like I
Yes.
imagine some big '80s movie, and
Yeah.
all I see right here is me trying to do it.
Oh man, it's beautiful work.
Thank you. I really had a vision for
I
it.
know.
I'm trying so hard to make it the most romantic.
It worked. I thought these scenes were
So
so
funny.
romantic.
His hair is so insane right there.
This
Like,
weird
it's so
headband.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh, you said GIF, not gift. You get a lot of gifts.
Yes.
Giffies.
Gift.
I say Giffy.
I was saying you
Like,
get a
how many gifts does Katie get in
Oh,
this movie?
oh.
I can only
Oh, no,
remember
no,
the
no,
one that's
gift,
coming
or-
up.
Jeff, GIF, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
You were so polite about it too. Yeah, a lot of gifts.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you read the comic book?
There's a comic book.
There's a
did not
comic
know
book that
that.
Wayne and Showalter wrote the rough story for, and then there's art, and you're in it.
No.
It's
You must
awesome.
have signed
Great.
some
Yeah.
likeness rights away at some point
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, and it
Right.
is Boom Comics.
Boom
released.
Oh,
Comics.
It's
fun.
great.
So.
That's
It's great.
great.
I should have brought it. I'm sorry.
Ah,
I
next
let
time.
you down again.
When we do the
The Netflix
TV show.
Yeah, we'll
There
do
you
the
go.
whole Netflix show.
Oh, so one of my
I'll bring snacks.
one of my favorite little gigs was I got from this, and it was years later. It was when I moved to LA. A director's wife was watching Wet Hot and thought my character looked like.
Oh,
the
wow.
I had to reenact this character.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
They thought I looked like her, so he reached out to me, and I just moved to LA, and he was shooting he was casting in New York, so it was the first self tape.
Yeah.
The first
Right.
self-tape of all time, and I got the gig. But it was this little ABC primetime show that came out before the reenactment shows were really popular, and it could have been something.
That's so
you know,
cool,
but,
though.
But it was like, yeah, from Wet Hot.
Yeah.
His wife was like, "Oh, that looks like Addie Hall, who you're trying to
Huh.
replicate."
And I think in the great tradition of, it's not like you have to be in their minds. You have to put yourself in their minds to think of you. I got cast in a something or other because the director had just watched all the Wet Hots recently because he was trying to get a job with Michael Showalter,
come on.
and then saw me. My audition tape was like, "Oh right," from what?
Wow.
So
Yeah.
Wow.
Whatever
yeah,
works.
Whatever works,
Yeah.
indeed.
That's such a good reminder, though. Yeah, it doesn't even matter if the work is there.
Yeah.
It has to be thrown
In front of them,
someone's
of course.
face.
Yeah.
A big fan, I'm assuming. I'm
so
assuming a
funny.
gigantic fan in the room.
So powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I needed one of these.
Like the camera shaking does a lot too,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. But if you look at that, like Zach's hair and Michael Ian Black's hair, it's like,
Oh my
it's
God,
really
Maddie.
going.
Yeah.
And then it's like dead,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
windy out here. I just loved
The
that.
wind is through the moment. There's so much chemistry happening right here. I'm like, I finally get you. And then I felt so bad about the scene that's coming up. Like, that was hard for me to understand.
You mean your iconic scene?
Yes.
mean
I was
the scene
real
you-
acting. I was so confused.
That you did on the
scene
Zoom.
you let me do
Yeah,
on the
you
Zoom.
did on the Zoom.
that
How
Marguerite-
did it feel?
Great.
It's a super fun one, isn't it?
It's a
I
great
saw
scene.
Naomi Watts' audition and was like, oh, that's how you do it.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Wow. I
Wow.
just was so impressed by her take and how fun it was and how locked in she was for it.
I had no
I
idea.
had no idea.
Yeah, in the
Does that feel good to know that you got the part over Naomi Watts?
oh yeah.
That's got to feel great.
So can it get me something though?
Oh, yeah.
I want
what
to
is it,
use
Irving?
that on my
Yeah.
reel. Back to backers.
Use Naomi Watts' audition on your
Yeah.
reel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so when we did the Williamsburg, there was a big screening and
Yeah.
party with Stella. They also showed some different people who, don't ask me any
Oh,
questions,
wow.
who auditioned, like their audition tapes.
my
I can't remember.
God.
That's why I feel so bad.
No, that's
Wow.
a good pull though.
Yeah.
Great pull.
What's a pull?
Like a good
Pulling out of something.
pull,
That's
a
good
memory
from
pull,
the back
like
of
a
memory.
good name to drop.
I just repeated what he said.
Yeah.
Because I hear that's called active listening. I don't always actually know what we're saying, though.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful.
glasses.
Was the camp happy with you guys at the end?
Ooh. I mean, when the movie came out, yes, but no.
Yeah.
Because we destroyed it. It
Of
was
course,
a mud
yeah.
pit with cigarettes and dogs and,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
you know,
What was it like to kiss your crush?
Yeah.
it's great.
You know, right?
Kidding?
Sometimes it can be a letdown.
Oh, that's true. I once kissed one and they had thin lips.
Yeah,
Tight.
there you go.
Ooh.
There you
Tight,
go.
tight lips, not thin. This
Can't wait
doesn't
to find
matter.
out who it is once the recording is done.
Yeah.
I was desperately disappointed.
Bye, Alexa. You got to have a part that was as good as mine in a movie.
You guys, it's still going on, huh?
Yeah.
There's not- yeah.
Have you seen Alexa
Feud's still
since?
going on. It's not her real name, but no, she
Okay.
she did fine in life.
Yeah.
Most people do.
I don't know if that's true.
I mean, yeah, I'm starting to wonder these days. I like where you're at. How old are you? Don't say that. I'm glad you feel that way.
Yeah, no, I just meant, no one won. She didn't
course.
win, I didn't win.
Great.
We're both fine.
I feel like you both won. You both won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both doing great
Right.
because we're
That's what I
talking about you right now,
There we go.
and you're
Exactly.
here.
And I'm-
So honestly, you won.
Oh, well.
She's not here.
Don't tell her that.
I will. I will message her
I actually
after
have a
this.
surprise.
Yeah.
You'll never believe. what's
Door
here.
number 1.
Oh, man. Oh, their sweet story. And she's pregnant already.
Oh, that's so funny.
So
Yeah,
funny.
because it's been 8 hours, 6 hours.
This
Yeah.
age-inappropriate love story here.
It's so insane.
He went on to work a bunch, and I think he went to my school. We went to Tufts University. He came
wow.
after I did, about a year or two
He
later. as a
is
kid.
very tall now and built.
Yes.
Huh.
I did
Very
hear
ripped.
that. I heard
Or was
that.
when at the Williamsburg thing. I was like, oh my goodness.
Hello.
Everybody grows up.
Yeah, everybody grows up. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah. Okay, here's your question.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. You're right.
Yeah.
We wouldn't lie to you, Patrick.
No, I know. I don't know why I've never. Maybe I just never thought about it, or I thought that was a different lady or something. That shirt is amazing.
Yeah. We all
Look at
quieted
this.
for it.
You have
Oh, you
another
have another
line.
I know I had
You're
lines.
doing
I had
great.
Lines, but the scene.
I know, I know.
Look, you're head to head with the Cape Boy.
The scene, since we can't find the scene in the book,
Yeah.
you want to know it's barbecue for lunch, right?
Yeah, it's right.
And you say,
hey, are we having barbecue for lunch today?
yeah,
And then I say, what do we do with the barbecue for vegan?
yes. You say it very fast.
What do we do with the barbecue for vegan? And then I start yelling.
Yes,
And there's some yelling that happens.
because they don't understand
But
you.
that is what got me the job,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah,
Was
yeah.
Wow.
the
quick wording.
the satellite prop is very impressive.
Mm.
It's huge.
It
Yeah.
was so much
It was
fun.
very
to play with.
exciting
That
to
watch it
was
drop.
exciting
Yes.
and
We were
fun.
very
all
impressed
those
with
little
that.
gadgets. It, was
It looks like it's half the budget.
Yeah.
It was half the budget of the film. And Katie, your hair with those cute little pigtails when you tell him off is just so beautiful.
You think we should keep them?
Yes.
It took me a long time. I was like, why did I do that?
So much
I was
work.
so desperate for a hair change by this point because we shot it at the end, and I'm like, "What? You just keep your same hair? What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I think it's iconic because it's all the more contrasty, the
There you
innocence
go.
versus the ruthlessness.
That's true. They did say it was a good choice.
I imagine wrapping this one was probably harder than other ones just because you guys hung out so much,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I also was like, I'm still trying to like get in the 30 club. Like I was
right.
definitely early 20s and they were all much older. So I was
Wow.
like, how am I going to do this? All my references are just slightly off. I like know who Elvis Costello is, but like Janine went to a wedding where all they played was the Smiths
Right.
at the wedding.
Right.
Huh.
And I'm like,
None of my friends are getting married yet.
yeah.
I'm a child. Yeah.
Man.
They're a hard group to get into.
The
Like
Smiths?
I've
Yeah.
been with all of them at
Oh,
Michael Ian Black's
oh.
wedding, and they
Oh,
were
how
all being super
funny.
funny, and I'd be like, and then I wouldn't. They would just like,
No,
yeah,
I never got in with them.
Yeah.
And they're dolls and very funny and cool.
Yeah.
I love this guy driving the car.
Yeah.
And I'll be besties.
The
What a
dad.
look.
Oh, the dad. Yeah. How
Yeah.
silly is
Paul's
that?
dad. So good.
Oh my God. And just the underwear on the ground everywhere.
This
Yeah.
ending's a
Magic.
downer. It's sad.
It is
Yeah.
sad.
Yep.
But then Janine's there to save the day.
But it's not really the end.
No,
That's
that's
true.
assuming, yeah.
There's
so
no-
many more years of cinema.
Oh, I just
and-
meant there's another scene after the credits.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but also so many more years of cinema.
Yes.
But then the tables are
fandom.
turned in 10 years later when Coop rejects Katie.
Wow.
I don't like it.
I
Wow.
don't like it.
I don't like it.
Wow.
And then before he does we do that scene, wait, are we talking about the one where we're 10 years later or first day at camp?
Hard to say.
I was talking about 10 years later.
Right.
So sweet. Look at that beautiful picture.
Yeah.
That's a very nice picture.
It is a very nice picture.
Yeah.
These are all really good
They
pictures.
were great. David was just out there with his camera doing
No, it
artsy
was
stuff.
Amy.
Oh, I got David took my picture. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because I think he gave
Look
us a
at that.
cigarette too.
Oh, that's funny. He did.
We have little, you'll see, I think in the
Oh,
shot
okay.
that comes up, I got a little cigarette.
Did you smoke it for real?
I don't know that I did. I was a prude, but I think we could have. I
Mm-hmm.
think Mallrat Girl did. She was cooler than me.
She sounds cool.
Yeah,
By
she
this
was
time,
really
I was
cool.
desperately trying to cultivate a smoking habit. Oh my god.
To keep up.
But sets
you know?
encourage that, I
Yes,
think.
they really
Oh,
did.
yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact,
Yeah.
Oh,
Especially
smoke.
this set feels like it would have
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
There he
absolutely.
is.
They
Kevin
had to.
Sussman.
Kevin Sussman
He
currently
was so good.
So
currently the
talented.
lead of the Big Bang Theory
As
spin-off show
he
that's
should.
coming.
As he
Fun,
should be.
As he should.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Very
a talent.
excited
Oh,
for
there
him.
you go.
Oh, there we go.
go.
Okay, there's another one from
That's
this
well
series. Oh, she's
done.
holding.
She's
a
got
cigarette.
cigarette
in her hand, yeah.
There you
She
go.
smoked it. Way cooler than me.
So
Yeah.
good. Peter Sellette was so great.
Yeah.
Glad they got him in there.
Showalter getting 2 credits. Good for him.
Yeah.
And then
Judah
3 in the show.
Friedlander.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Silas.
Who didn't you like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Yeah. Well.
Not
No,
Christopher
we-
Connors, raft camper number 2.
We don't speak.
Okay, yeah.
Jean's wife.
Gene's wife, Donna Mitchell. There you go.
There you go.
I mean, it's got to be so interesting to be like Raft Camper number 2. You know,
Mm-hmm.
not even him
Totally.
specifically, but just like, yeah, I'm in that movie. Like,
Mhm.
it's got to be so weird. You know,
Yeah.
So little.
So little.
tiny. But I think you also move on with your life when it's that.
Maybe.
Because maybe people don't recognize.
they
you
didn't get
from it.
invited to the.
Why don't we
to the
find
Netflix
him
show.
and reach out and ask
Raft
him?
Camper number 2?
Have you moved on? From what? You know.
Well, there was a funny thing too with the Netflix one where whoever was reaching out, the assistant casting person,
Yeah.
didn't reach out through my reps, which can be good and bad.
Yeah.
And the email was, all the kids from the original movie are invited to be in this scene. And I remember with my little ego, I was like, excuse me?
Yeah.
All the kids? I was like,
Yeah.
there's hundreds of kids in that movie.
Yeah.
So she meant the
Important kids.
She meant the
Indoor
indoor
kids.
kids.
I'll say this.
But
Christopher Connors, Raft Camper number 2,
Yeah.
only credit on IMDb.
well,
Oh.
that's
Well,
what I
it's-
mean. He moved on with his
moved
life.
on.
No,
and
it's
had a life.
dedicated to his memory at the end.
no.
So
Oh, he's the one who drowned
Too
out there.
soon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Too soon.
we'll find him. We'll find
Yeah.
him. We'll do an update on one of the podcasts. We'll find him.
Enabler at Large, Peter Principato. There you
But
go.
this was
There
now
you
so
go.
now I can't remember the original versus what got printed, but there's
Never
supposed
saw
to be a whole masturbation thing here with Jake
Oh, that's with Jake
Fogelnest, too.
Fogelnest.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a deleted thing.
And
That's-
that was
I think it's on
like,
the DVD,
it's
maybe.
the whole end of the movie was supposed to be everyone watching that, right? And making comments on it.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like all
Very dark.
very dark. Very dark.
I love these credits.
Yeah.
They're just so
They're great.
satisfying and probably were a lot
Mr.
less
Blue.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
yes.
just
Very
photos,
smart.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I should have
What?
told my recent. I have a friend who made a movie, and he was complaining about doing the.
Credits are annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the special thanks list is very impressive because it's all people who did like,
Readings.
early
Yeah.
script
Oh,
readings or whatever.
amazing.
But it's like so many comedy people.
Yeah, yeah.
What are
that's so
final thoughts here?
sweet.
What are
Oh.
our takeaways from this movie? What did we learn from this movie?
Okay, well, I have a few things.
Yeah.
One, seeing that special thanks on the board just now reminded me that one of the 10 years later. We got to wait for 10 years.
Okay,
later.
great.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
What happens
they have to
here?
do a lot of
Okay.
back stretch,
Yes.
to
this
make
match.
the show work with this.
Oh, that's funny. Yes.
What do you mean?
I
Oh,
feel like
because,
because they've
yeah.
locked themselves into whatever
Yeah.
this is. That,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they look different. Too.
There you
Right,
go.
and that was the scene I
Yeah.
think you were supposed to be watching the masturbation. Anyway, I do remember less than a year after we wrapped, David just wrote the sweetest letters to everybody. And I just have this letter that it meant so much to me as a kid. Right?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, you're a movie star, whatever. It was just like really
Like
kind
on actual
and-
paper?
Like on actual
Oh,
paper.
no.
I mean, it was tight.
This
I
is
didn't
where it
get
gets
one of
awkward.
those.
There it
So
is.
maybe for the kids. Maybe you did it for the kids. You got to be friends. It's okay.
I cultivated much later in life that friendship. Yeah. When age
Yeah.
didn't matter anymore.
That's
Sure.
very smart.
Yeah.
That's very smart. No, I did not succeed at cultivating any lasting friendships from the movie. But I
call
got
him.
this
Just
really
call him. That's
Just
all
call
you
him
have to
right
do.
now. Just call him.
sweet-
Just text him.
I got this
Just
really
Instagram.
sweet letter that was a one to remember.
Yeah.
A letter to remember.
Marguerite, what about you? What
Yeah.
are your takeaways from this movie,
From just watching it right now?
or from the experience in
How
general?
did it change you as a human being?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I finally got to be the popular girl at camp. I didn't go to camp. This is great. I got all my work done for me. I got to be mean and bad too. It was just at the end. It was great. And not feel bad. No, I feel like this movie, I felt so lucky and it was so special and everyone was so incredible. I just feel super, super lucky. And I pinch myself to have gotten to be in not only the Ducks trilogy,
Yeah.
which has its own fan base and lore, but then this, which, it's my perfect slot in terms of playing the like subtext, not the subtext, but like when things are pathos, comedy and pathos. So I felt like it was a really good fit. I've been
great role.
captured in my youth, and I'm
Yeah.
like, yes, my ego's like great.
What kind of parts do you guys want to do that you haven't done yet?
Western musical, Quentin Tarantino. Oh my God, so many things. I want to be a lead on a cop show, but a good one. But even if it's not a good one, we'll have a great time. Oh my God, there's so many things that have been unfulfilled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would love to play a Katie type someday.
yeah.
Okay.
But I also really want to play a supervillain in an action movie.
Ooh,
like
Wow.
a
yeah.
Kristen Wiig
In-
supervillain.
And I really want
Yeah.
to be in a Mission Impossible. I've always wanted to. be
The
in
last one is this.
I
May.
know.
There's reshoots. They can do reshoots.
I'm sure it'll come right back in
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I be so millennial social media?
Absolutely.
So I had a tiny budget that was probably a tenth of this, but I just finished my feature.
Let's talk about it. Plug
Yeah,
it. Plug
let's-
it.
So
Do it.
at Solo Trip Movie
Yes.
is where you can find my burgeoning little film.
Amazing.
Great.
And this puts it to shame in every
Congratu-
way. I mean,
Oh,
but thank you.
No,
I'm
no,
No, I mean,
no.
you just look
Picked
at
up
what was
some stuff.
accomplished on a tiny budget is
Yeah.
really incredible. Because,
Yeah.
we're talking about, it's rainy and a little chaotic. But, I mean, this is a brilliant, lasting film on a small budget and really inspiring, I think, for indie filmmakers. Because they were essentially they had support, but they were indie filmmakers.
Yeah. Do you have
I
any
made a
recent stuff that
masterpiece.
people should check out or upcoming
Well,
stuff?
I just
or-
realized that the movie started over.
the movie
again.
did start over again. We're not going to do it again.
can't-
But
I know,
we're-
but I
we're trapped
thought
in the
that
loop.
it was like a second.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, did I not remember there's like a second extra scene at the end?
No, it's just the
no.
full movie. It's the full movie. That's how this Blu-ray works.
Phew.
What,
yeah, I'm
what
on the
should people
pit
watch?
right now on Max, which is a
People love that
People
show.
are loving it.
people are liking
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
And then let's see, I've got a movie coming out that's probably it's coming out in April. That's like a post-apocalyptic,
Yes.
like water rights, badass in the desert type of chick movie that I did with my friend that I mentioned before. And
What's that called?
That's called The Protector.
Okay.
Cool.
But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Patrick,
guys.
do you have anything
Do
coming
I
up?
have anything? I don't know. We'll talk about it later. Thank you both for doing this. It's been very fun.
Oh, thank
This was amazing.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
super
having
fun.
us.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I mean, what a movie. What a funny movie.
Yeah, it was good.
I should say, when we record these intros and outros, we do watch the entire movie again.
We don't need to, but we always wind up
We
doing
don't need
it.
to. We like it. We have fun with it.
And we don't record that part. We just watch it and stare in silence.
Have you stolen any jokes from this movie for something that you've worked on, or
Holy
you know?
cow. Well, you know, this movie I definitely would have if it came out earlier in my career. I think my career is already up and running at this point, so I did not. But like when you watch Big Helium Dog, it's jam packed full of Phil Hartman era Saturday Night Live and Minions, or and Minions, what? And Simpsons.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I have. I don't think I have.
You don't have to have an answer. I was just curious.
No, I don't know. I mean, I do fart tracks when I'm watching movies with my wife? Sure.
I should say this about that place where we recorded. The day after we recorded, my apartment fully flooded, and I had to move. I had to move into another unit in the building, and the irony is not lost on me that we recorded an episode with wet in the title, and then my entire apartment got wet. Along with, we recorded another episode that day too, and there was another water connection that will be brought to light when we talk about that in the intro.
When we tell people who we also recorded that day, and we'll reveal that when we reveal that episode, they're going to be blown away that we had that amazing a morning.
It was genuinely such a bizarre day having all of those people in my apartment that I thought I would be living in for years to come.
Do you blame any of them?
I blame one of them, and I'll say who it is when we record the second episode.
Oh, okay. So it's definitely not one of the ladies in this one.
No. One of them unleashed an evil into my house, and I think it will become rapidly apparent who that was.
Patrick, I'd venture to say you invited an evil into your house.
Oh, 100%. It was Vampire Rules. They came in, and they caused chaos.
We should have people guess on our Patreon. Okay. What movie or TV show are we referencing? Featuring maybe one of the most evil groups of characters of all time on a movie or TV show?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. One of the scariest people to ever grace TV screens is on a future episode.
Was in your living room.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening to the show today. We really appreciate it. Check out the other episodes. We have some real bangers coming up soon. And very excited.
So young. That was terrible.
I'm young, I'm hip, I'm cool. We got some real bangers coming up soon, and we're really excited for you to hear them.
So come join us, your favorite slap daddies. We're total W's. We're not sus. We are not sus. We're total Sigma.
Is Slap Daddy a real one?
Slap Daddy was, I've heard Pedro Pascal be called that, and I just panicked and wanted to sound cool and threw it out right there.
You said Pedro, and immediately I thought of the guy from Napoleon Dynamite.
I thought you were going to say Pedro Zamora from Real World.
No. Okay, bye, everyone.
Wait, no, stop. Do you want to do a spin-off podcast called Slap Daddies?
What's it about?
Well, look, I'm moving away for a little while. We might not be able to do commentaries together, but we'll discuss our favorite slap daddies one a week.
Okay. Also, both of our fathers still around, still kicking.
Sure.
We could.
Just talk about them or with them?
No. Slap them, Brian.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. My dad's over 80 years old. I couldn't possibly slap him.
Mine's pretty young.
How old is your dad?
65. What would 65 be now? Is that 60?
What do you mean? What would 65 be now?
He's turning 60 this year. He was born in 1965.
Your dad is 8 years older than me?
Uh-huh.
Wow. What about your mom? How old's your mom?
Oh,
we've talked to her during the pandemic on Instagram.
That's true.
Yes, she is. Tell her I said what's up.
You meeting my mother and Lane Moore.
We got to get Lane on. We'll get her to do an episode of Girls. We'll get her on and...
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I'm always thinking of the show.
All of this is going to be cut.
All right. Even the slap daddy shit?
Bye, everyone.
Come on. Hey, everyone. Have a good one. Be safe out there.
Be safe out there. Thanks for listening to Hey That's Me, Commentary Podcast. This has been a That Was Just So Funny production. Your hosts have been Brian Lynch and Patrick Hotner. Music was by Alex Peabody, and our art was by Abigail Noy. You can find out more about the show by going to heythat'smepod.com and checking out our Patreon at patreon.com/commentary. The show was recorded by Stephen Ray Morris. If you've enjoyed the show, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Please tell your friends about this show.
No!